Whoa, hello and
Hello
welcome everybody.
to
It's
Weekly
me.
Stand-Up.
It's your boy Josh Miller, and we got Cheesehead Jess on the right hand side over
He's
here.
Jess,
She,
and
she. Who's that in the background you got there?
yeah. So this is actually Josh's boyfriend Hasan. He's getting cucked today, but yeah, we're just hanging out. Like I saw him on the beach and was like, "Yo, we're doing a show on Twitch on Sunday. You want to come?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah, he was
So
super down. Yeah, and look, he's so stoic, and he's being so respectful right now. He's not
yeah,
like
he's
interrupting or
absolutely
anything
a
like that.
gentleman. He's just super chill. He's just gonna be chilling with me the whole show until y'all get tired of him. So
Well, Jess, it's
yeah,
good to have you back. It's
thanks.
I feel like Hassan could probably use one of these sunglasses, so I'm actually gonna pass
This
them
show
Oh,
already
smart.
has so much chaotic energy, Chad. I hope you're ready. I hope you're
It's
ready.
supposed to.
Um, yeah, welcome to another episode of the Weekly Stand Up. Jess has been gone for a minute, so it's good to have her back.
Yes, I've been traveling, doing a lot of travel, doing a lot of organizing, and as some of you might have heard, we had a big win last week. So I'm really excited to talk about it. Really excited to be back, and with Josh's boyfriend, of course, because it's the only way that I could get back on the show. Because Josh was like, "Where's Hasan?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I'm not Hasan. I just can't be Hasan." So this is the next best thing. Um, but yeah, happy to be back,
And
and
then
we got Mike Cam today,
we got Mike
which
Cam.
is an
Mike,
I
extra
mean,
treat.
they've had Mike Cam last week. I was just on the show. I'm glad we have
no,
Yeah.
topics
you were
this week,
Jessica
by the
last
way.
week.
Oh yeah.
No, you were.
Hello.
Yeah, I sound like that probably. I hope I sound like that in Bobby's Nightmares for sure.
It's
Yeah,
yeah.
I hope it's Mike's voice.
I like how Mike's rendition of you is just like a late aged like British old British
My
man.
my my rendition of you is a halfway rendition of Greg Miller's rendition of Professor McGonagall. That's
Oh, I
that's what
love
it
it.
is.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
Hello, children.
Oh,
it's like a Newgrounds like skit or something version of me.
Oh
I
man,
just
But
don't know
yeah,
how I
I do
haven't been
love it.
cast in anything yet. With a
that's
I
voice
know.
like
kind of
Hire
that,
my
this
like
problem.
man.
hire me.
Hire him.
Mike, every time you put in auditions for voice acting, do you just use that voice every time,
I should
regardless?
just slate with that. So like you slightly your regular voice normally. Let's say one slate. You're like Mike Knowles auditioning for whatever. So they know what your basic voice is. But I should just slate with that like
Yeah.
Mike Knowles auditioning for Hasan.
You should absolutely have a TikTok like thing where you just go through drive-throughs and do one voice going in, and then
I
like when you pick up your food, you do something else, and then you'll literally get hired.
I yes, but also I have a very strict rule about making content around minimum wage workers because I feel like they are far
Oh,
too abused for content. And every time I see that shit, I
mood.
hate it. I hate it so
That's
much.
fair.
Like all that Gideon content where he just like goes and fucks with people at Walmart. It's like,
Yeah, I don't like
bro,
that
this
stuff for
this
sure
isn't
because it's
funny.
like
Like
even if I got
Actually,
paid enough to
I
care, it's
don't
not
know if
funny.
I'm familiar with this content. What
it's
does
just
Gideon
it's just
do?
any sort of content where people mess with like unless you're gonna give them
Service
something,
workers or
yeah, we're like service
yeah.
workers that use as props, right? And sometimes it's like even nice stuff. Like people like there was the one where the family went and like sung a whole like 5-minute ballad to some ice cream workers. And that's like positive, but even in that situation, like, no, dude, they don't care. You're using them as props as an audience for your video. Like, just stop. Like, just stop. Like,
Yeah.
I just
Aren't
hate
we
that
all
shit.
just props for the
I don't know. We should
great
ask
show that is
Hasan.
God?
Hasan, do you feel like a prop here? Or...
I think Hassan might feel like a prop in this
I
situation.
believe that the socialist agenda is that we are all props
Oh
equally.
God! See this, Josh. I fucking knew that when we were gonna have Hasan on the show, it was gonna
Yeah,
be
he's
like
gonna.
this.
Well,
We just
we
started.
talked to him before in the green room, and he said he wasn't gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm
But
gonna be
It
filing
was.
with HR. Josh showed me his raging penis, and I'm not really
no,
about that.
no, Mike,
What?
absolutely not, absolutely not.
The disembodied voice is concerned.
Yeah, it got weird. Um, speaking of weird,
Oh,
before we dive into, yeah, we'll explain Jess's whole journey, why she's been gone the last 2 weeks, why she's got a cheese hat on.
yep.
But before that, we got some fun Twitter stuff. So let's
Always,
jump to the first fun Twitter stuff.
always fun Twitter stuff.
Fun Twitter stuff. Um,
That's just my whole brand.
my brand. No word.
Oh, Mike's fired again.
Chat
You
couldn't hear
can't
me, but
fire
we had
me.
we had a,
Hassan
we had
is
a
our new
quick tech
producer.
difficulties for the show. Give me 1 second, I'll get it
That's
fixed.
okay.
All good.
It's okay. We can. Oh, look, you guys want to see a trick? I can be smoked cheddar.
Oh Don't blow smoke in my boy. You
He
know
likes it.
he struggles with.
He likes it. He's a bottom. So.
All right, we got our image up. So this curse thing, I mean, obviously it's a joke, but
Yeah.
it's just amazing. Like that art is perfect.
It's
I
actually
want-
terrifying.
I want this
Whoever-
like hand painted for me. and
What's the
just, like,
subject
in
here?
the
What's
room.
the topic?
Oh no, there is no topic. I just wanted to show
It's-
it off. This is show and tell.
The topic is actual scary thing on the internet, because look at it. Is that a leg or something else in the middle there?
This is
It's
yeah.
the
So
third
this is
leg.
our new segment. Is it leg?
Is it leg?
Is
Does
it
it have
leg
a
or is
leg
it
to
shrimp?
stand on? Is it shrimp? Is it horse? Is it buff? I mean, look at that like muscle.
If the bottom
would
part is horse, is it a horse cock or a shrimp cock?
Wait,
That's what I
but
wanna
how
know.
would it wear pants? That's like the most
Oh.
like important
Overalls.
question
So the
here.
back two legs go in the overalls, and then the straps go over the part like where the front legs are. You know what I'm saying?
Why would a horse wear pants? to
If
begin
if
with?
anyone photoshops pants over this image during the show and
I
tweets it at
hope they
me,
do.
I will put it up on stream. I promise you right now.
Okay, wait, scroll down because I kind of feel like that's where Twitter could be headed, because sometimes Twitter is freaking great like that. Maybe
I'm
not.
scrolling down and I hate what I'm seeing.
Yeah, no,
It's all
it's
cursed.
just cursed.
Oh my
Do
god,
you guys
the
wanna-
kitten in the wine bottle.
Do you guys want to know like where this all came from? Like, do you want some background on this?
yeah. Give us
Yeah, I would love it.
So there's like this art AI. I think it's called Dolly, where like basically people can sign up to use this thing,
Mm.
and then you just like you type out your request. It's not even a thing you program. Like you literally say, I want green meteors falling from the sky with
Oh.
like skyline, blah 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 blah. There's this whole
AI
thing.
art.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then like it'll actually read your words and then try to create the thing. So what you saw, the big picture there was someone typing, "I want a centaur, except it's shrimp."
No.
But like it's clearly like AI did not make this. Like this is clearly a very well illustrated.
No,
AI
it's all,
AI made this. I was like,
AI's making all of
I
it.
want Josh's dad plus like beach, and that was
AI actually made the shrimp.
yeah. No,
Really?
so like what's going on? The AIs are actually like it takes a while to render.
Yeah.
So like it'll
Mhm.
paint something and then it'll try it again and it'll do it again until it gets more and more accurate, if that makes sense. So it's like trying various renditions of the thing. So yeah, it's like really wicked cool.
What
Okay,
are
yeah, that
those?
actually is really cool.
Is the question I have.
What,
Like,
What-
are they hooves?
this topic has already gone on. This is supposed to be a footnote.
I'm sending it
This
to the
is not
chat.
supposed to
I made a
last
poll
that
for
long.
the chat.
Well,
Did an AI make
Jessica-
this? Yes or no?
He's Justice
I'm
here. all
I'm
right?
voting no.
I'm gonna say
Okay.
no.
I mean,
Do I
alright,
need to
but it
do I just
is.
put no in chat or do I what do
Wait,
I
what?
Oh.
What's going on in chat? Oh, did an AI make
Again,
this?
how does one of the hosts of our shows who brought this whole project together not fucking know how Twitch works?
I don't
I'm not
You
logged
zip
in.
I'm a boomer,
Hasan!
Mike. We've already discussed this. I'm a boomer and I don't have anything to apologize for. All right, fun Twitter thing number 2. Winnie the Pooh is
Oh,
if
God,
anyone's
no.
not aware,
Yo,
it's
I just
getting
want to
a
say,
horror
I love
slasher
Winnie the
film.
Pooh. Fuck this shit.
No,
It is
what do you
so
mean? Fuck this shit.
horrifying.
This
I-
is gonna be amazing.
Can I defend this?
I mean, you can. I won't
Go
believe you,
for
but
it.
you can do what you
Okay.
want.
So, and I'm gonna give it the old anti-capitalist slant. Now, here's the thing. If you're not aware, Winnie the Pooh recently exited entered public domain. Its copyright has fallen out of the what is it after 100 years, like anything can be used. It enters public domain. Is that correct? 100
Yeah,
years?
public domain. Yeah,
It's not
Um,
100. It's like 75.
75 years.
it's
So Winnie the
it's
Pooh,
different per country. I think it's 75 for Winnie the Pooh, but it's like currently 100 or 120 in America.
Okay. So yeah, Winnie the Pooh recently entered public domain, which allowed this whatever indie studio is working on this. This is how they're able to get away with this without Disney just completely shutting them down. So I think this is a win, right? Because
Yeah.
okay, I will concede. Is this what I want? No. I don't want my childhood children's book turned into a slasher movie. But
Yeah.
like
do.
in principle, That doesn't surprise me.
I'm excited.
But in principle, this is good, right? Like this is what should happen with all IPs. Like after the
Yeah.
time expires, they should enter public domain, and like it's the rights are given to the people. So
Now, just to be
Yeah.
clear, just to be clear, in the United
Yeah.
States, it's still like 70 years. It's just like some folks like renew their ownership of the property. For some reason, Winnie the Pooh just didn't get renewed. Like they just kind of like let their copyright whatever like slip, and then Winnie the Pooh got used. Like I'm not sure what.
I'm pretty sure Winnie the Pooh is like a UK trade. Like I'm pretty sure that it's like the author was
Is
in the
that
UK,
what
right?
did it?
I want to
Maybe.
say that it's one of those like weird ones that we don't think of being from the UK, but it is.
Well, the reason why
I'll check it.
the reason why I know this is that so for another show I do, you might like this. We were looking for old vintage I'm just gonna say it, porn for something else. So we're like looking not like porn, but like like stuff that we could use for clips, filler, whatever else. We're talking about sex work. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
And like so there's like a website that has like all stuff that's available in the public domain, and you can just do a search for things, and like all sorts of interesting things come up. Hold on, actually, I'm gonna find this link so we can.
While he's doing that,
sounds
can I confirm the author Alan Milne, I think is how I pronounce the last name, was an English author. So it's probably that it fell out of public domain in the UK, and I'm sure Disney has like a trademark for a specific representation of it, which is how they do it for a lot of their bullshit. But yeah, that's why it was able to not be renewed, because it's not like a trademark that exists. Like the UK has the primary trademark, so like you could trademark certain parts about it in the US for like US use, like how like I think it's like in China, someone else has the supreme like registered trademark or some bullshit like that, or copyright. And in some other countries, like they'll do that where it's like, oh, Disney doesn't have this copyright in this random third world country, so like they make a bunch of knockoff stuff for it. But that's why, basically.
Okay, gotcha.
I think it's super cool because like I read this like thing that the metaphor about Winnie the Pooh is like living with different mental illnesses. Like Eeyore's depression, Piglet I think was anxiety or something. But it would be really interesting if somebody actually like made a movie like that. It'd be really cool.
Yeah.
But whatever this is kind of terrifying. Can we just zoom in on Pooh Bear, because it's giving me strangers and it's giving me like Thanos. And both are terrifying equally. Why?
I'm looking forward to the watch party. I hope we're gonna do a watch party.
Yeah, if
we
just
should totally
so
watch
good.
party.
Just if that was, if that was the film, like I would agree with you. Having read the articles, it doesn't seem like it's that.
Not going to
like
be
it just
anything that
seemed
deep.
like it was shot in 10 days. Like it was shot in 10 days. Like let's be real. Like this isn't like not that there's anything necessarily wrong with that, but like this is just the reason I hate it is because this isn't actually a good use of like repurposing something in the public domain, like how we saw Sherlock
IP.
Holmes enter the public domain, and like everyone started making their own cool Sherlock Holmes stuff. This is just like,
Well, yeah, that's
we
what
want to
you're gonna get with this
capitalize
kind of stuff.
on shock value for something that is
Right.
wholesome because we just can make money now. That's how
We
it comes
needed
off
to
to
make a
me.
statement.
You can hate me. That's
We
fine.
needed to
That's
make a
my
statement.
opinion.
No, they
Like,
just
we needed
they
to,
just tech broed it.
yeah.
They pump and dumped.
I mean, now we all know that we can make whatever fan fiction for Winnie the Pooh that we've always wanted to make, though. They got the word out.
Exactly.
I would argue.
They got the word out. It
And-
was a splash. It made a splash. We're covering it,
open-
right? If it was
And
just
look
some
at that mask.
normal movie,
We
we
should-
wouldn't be talking about it.
We should absolutely like open a Kickstarter for a dating simulator with Hasan and like Winnie the Pooh.
Absolutely. Oh, and yeah, that's the third thing. Let's bring up the Hasan tweet just to give the illustrator a little credit where credit
Some
is-
context.
is due. Yeah, so I don't think that like this. I think these are just like cool illustrations. Like if you look at the
Yes,
paper, the person who posted
are.
it, she is an illustrator. But this does like I hope this plants the seeds in people's minds. Like, oh, wait, what does the world not
This
have? A
needs to be-
Hasan dating simulator. What does the world need? A Hasan dating simulator. So I hope this plants
Yeah.
some seeds because this is what the world needs.
Yeah, we are absolutely manifesting into existence, because as soon as I learned it happened, I was like, wow, Josh, we should let's play this on stream.
Absolutely.
Because it's his, dream. And yeah.
So
I
I
was
think
waiting
that
to hear
needs
this
to
is
be-
Dream Daddy Simulator DLC, because that would make more sense.
Oh, right. Yeah, that would make sense.
So we have like some of the
Yeah.
top ones, right? Like like we make it a dating simulator like beyond just Hasan. Like you get like Ludwig, Mizkif, XQC, right? Like all of
Mm.
the top zaddies.
I feel like Ludwig would be a very like generous lover, you know?
Oh,
Like
absolutely. He would
Mizkiv
be such
very
a
selfish, you know, Hasan giving
selfish
but
guy.
also taking, and then Ludwig
Yep.
just very giving.
Well, Hasan would be
He
like the
looks very
Aquarius
giving right
bro, the
there.
guy who just wants to like talk about like, politics and the
Aw,
injustice. Mizkif would probably make it
that's
all
a
about him.
freaking V-neck.
That is a V-neck. Actually, that's kind of like minus
Holy cow.
the red hat, I
I
guess.
know,
That's
like,
like a
do
little
you
bit.
want to be Hasan or do you want to be with Hasan? Like,
I
what's the
who can say? Maybe both. But to do well Eddie, man. To
That's
be
fair.
Hasan or to date Hasan.
What also, can we see the rings? Because it's giving me like you defeat Ultron. Can we
I
see the rings?
might have defeated
How many
Ultron.
rings you got, Josh? What
I'm
did
just
you
rock,
do?
just I'm
Did you
just
like get
rocking
all the
3.
stones?
I'm just rocking 3
And you
today.
look like Iron Man. What's happening here?
These actually are Tony Stark licensed glasses.
Oh, hell
That's not
yeah. I know my
that's not
shit.
even
It's almost like I worked on a Marvel game.
that. Do they have the signature glasses in the Marvel game?
Yeah.
Um,
No, but like we literally had to know all the things for reasons.
I think so. Yeah, to wrap up
Oh.
the fun tweets, I think the takeaway here is that our first weekly stand-up sponsored game jam needs to be a streaming Zaddy simulator.
Dating sim. Yes.
Question
Love
about
that.
the Marvel game.
What
So,
about it?
did you know about America Chavez being like a mainstream MCU character prior to the movie that came out?
I cannot confirm nor deny any of that information.
Fascinating. Also, I posted a link to the public domain
Oh, cool.
URL where you can find all sorts of weird stuff,
Awesome.
including
Sick. Thanks. I love weird stuff.
Oh my god, that poo! It's all
The what?
Oh my
the
God,
poo.
Mike,
The poo appeared on the stream. Oh
yeah,
god.
Mike put a little
What did
evil
Mike
thing on
do?
our.
I
Hey,
feel like that
it's gonna be
belongs in
evil.
Josh's background.
No, I don't.
No,
Absolutely
no,
not.
Josh's background is gorgeous. Oh my god. So Mike is just gonna be adding chaos energy behind you this entire show. Let's go.
It could be like
It looks like I just
a
like, hey, I'm in Hawaii and they gave me a cheese hat off the plane and then I'm partying it up with like,
So, Jess, let's talk
oh
about your
no.
cheese hat. No,
Yeah,
no,
I'd
let
love
it end.
to.
oh god.
Please. What, Jess? Why, why, why did you have a cheese hat? And a what is the context of this photo? In the group chat photo that you posted on Twitter.
Yeah, so the reason I have a cheese hat is because last
Mike, can we
Sunday,
please
so a
get
week
up
ago.
the photo? And not Winnie the Pooh and Jess's backgrounds.
Actually dying right now. It's great. Smoked, shut up. Oh shit, I love this photo. Yeah, so I went to Wisconsin last Sunday, and that's why I wasn't here. And that's because I was meeting with the Raven Software QA team, and we had Monday was our like vote count. We were gonna read the votes and see if we won the election to be like a legit union, right? So that was really exciting. I got to go to Wisconsin. I had never been before. All I knew was cheese. So I became full native and bought a cheese hat and drank this beer called Spotted Cow, which is a Wisconsin native beer that you can only get there. And they actually have cases of them in the airport because it's so good. And yeah, that's me celebrating after drinking, and we won our union. So, by the way, spoiler alert, we won. Game Workers Alliance is an official union.
Claps in the chat, please. Can we get some poggers in the chat? Let me do some. I'll get some poggers going. I'll start it. That's poggers,
Yeah, so
Jess. There we go. Can we
thank you,
can
Josh.
everyone copy and paste that right now? Can we get some poggers in the chat? Poggers.
Thank
Am I
you.
gonna get
Thank you.
banned if I
Oh
keep?
my God, the Bobby guns.
Um,
Yes, he's very much bad.
so first of all, it makes me so happy to see like you just look so happy in this photo,
I
and
went full native.
but let's start at the beginning because you've had a month like 2 weeks
Oh
ago.
yeah.
Not a good time in Jess world. Let's start at the
Yeah.
beginning. So you
Oh Lord.
got laid off,
I got laid off.
unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah, I got laid off because turns out a bunch of people did a bunch of shit with crypto and then it all died and then people panicked. So a lot of people got laid off. And then just the market in general was really low or down or whatever. Thanks
Yeah.
Elon or whoever. So a bunch of people got laid off. I was affected. And luckily enough for me, because I had been doing such great work with Communications Workers of America, CWA, they hired me to
Like a day
organize,
later,
to do the
right?
stuff that I
Like
was doing.
it was
Yeah.
very
They pretty much
quick.
said, "Hey, I'm sorry you got laid off. You know, do you want like an I-9 and all this stuff?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was already kind of doing it, so it was really cool. I get to do something that I just figured out I'm good at. So that's pretty exciting. I was a game dev for 7 years and I'm just turning into like this, I don't know what to call it, activist slash unionist. But oh, by the way, dripped out unionists on Twitter retweeted my photo. So I've made it, which also famously Christian Smalls was retweeted by them because he wore that Eat the Rich jacket when he met the president. So I feel honored, very honored to work with CWA
Yeah, you're
and
in good standing.
organize and unionize the first like AAA studio in the United States. Like that's insane.
That's incredible.
So as you can see, that's why I look like that in that photo, is because like a lot, like it had been a 6-month fight just with Raven alone. And then before the Raven fight was like ABK wide since July. So it's like timeline. Activision got sued in July all the way up until this year. And it finally happened. So that's why I
Jess,
look absolutely stunning.
You understand that this, you literally got Streisand affected, right?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
literally are a living Streisand effect right now.
Why?
Wait, does no one else get what I'm saying? Or
Streisand
Actually,
effect
no.
is like when you want something to not exist and it exists more.
right.
Right.
So like Activision tried to like shut you the fuck up, and now you.
Oh yeah,
now,
no, they
and,
couldn't. I told them.
Every time someone tries to put a lid on you, someone else gives you a better offer, or
doesn't
something
happen.
else comes like down your way. So like your job lays you off, you get a
no.
better job. Activision tries to shut you up, it gets a union, like every fucking time.
Oh.
And I'm very proud of
Okay,
you.
so someone kill me so I can be in the better multiverse,
No.
please.
This multiverse needs
Jesus.
you, Jess.
/S in the chat.
In Minecraft.
In
Um,
Minecraft.
in Minecraft. No, it's really cool to see. I think that
I also got a cheeseburger tattoo. It's upside down because, yeah. But it's a little raven perched on a cheese.
I guess we should have capped a better picture of that to post, but
I
the,
sent
the
it.
the tattoo looks sick. I didn't know
Thank
that
you.
you were gonna like when you said you were gonna get a Raven tattoo, I was like, oh yeah, the Raven logo is actually like sick, and that'll make a great tattoo. And then
Yeah.
I saw the cheese at the bottom, I was like, what?
So good.
But it's cool. It
Listen,
actually looks sick.
I don't fuck around.
No, you don't.
I tweet too much if you're looking through my tweets.
I still love
Just go to
this
media.
this photo, by the way. This is a great
Yeah,
photo.
that's Jesse. Jesse the unionist. I don't know. Jesse the laborer.
Who illustrated that for you?
My friend Bree, who also worked at Blizzard and got pushed out sadly because they were super like pro-union. Freaking talented artist.
Yeah,
Oh
awesome.
yeah, there it is filled in. That is my cheeseburb. I don't know what to name it yet.
Hey, real talk,
Um,
can we get cheeseburger and emote? Can we just get that as
Oh
an
my
emote?
Ooh,
God,
cheeseburger.
we need
That,
that.
that'll be like our union like logo is the cheeseburger.
Yeah, I like that.
Mm. Wait, I love that idea. Actually.
Okay, I'll help you get like a straight on shot. I may be able to use this actually. We'll see.
So
I
Jess,
love it.
can you talk a little bit about like some of the responsibilities that you have at your new job with the CWA?
Yeah, so organizing, of course, like educating people, giving them resources, following through with like leads if other studios are interested, getting people signed up for our training for our anti-union. Like we teach you how to deal with the anti-union campaign. We teach you how to social map, which is really exciting and fun. And just like how to gauge people's overall interest in their working conditions. 9 times out of 10, they actually care about their work. They just don't want to be bothered. So if you're like, hey, compensation could be better, or like, how do you feel about crunch? Usually they're actually, like, yeah, you know what? I don't like that, and we should fix it. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
and so how did I know that you were in contact with like the CWA while like in
Mhm.
the process of forming the GWA. So how did
Yeah.
that like dialogue come about? How did that start?
Oh, yeah. So when I was already organizing under ABK, which is Activision Blizzard King, um, a friend of mine who recently left Raven Software reached out to me because they had the layoffs. And they had already been kind of watching a better ABK on Twitter and like all the activism that I had been doing. So they were kind of already watching, they were reading the articles. My name was mentioned, so they were like following me. So when they got all laid off, and I guess Bobby assumed that they were such an obscure studio that they weren't gonna have like contact with people or something. I'm not sure. But they reached out to me and said, "Hey, we need help." So then we organized on Discord overnight. Like we organized the strike fund, and like a whole bunch of other stuff, and started putting them in touch with like organizers to like form a union. Um, and it was wild. Like I just remember having a headset on and I was like bathing my daughter while trying to figure out the strike fund stuff. It was crazy, but yeah, it was cool. They like reached out. I got to help them, and then like I helped them know like what it was gonna be like with the boss because I had already been kind of pushed out. So, and they went through a lot. Like they actually went through the like hardest anti-union campaign that I have seen. And the fact that they went through all of that and still beat the boss, it's like gamers rise up. Like we are gamers. You're not gonna freaking win. That's awesome and super inspiring for me, you know. Because it's like it's annoying when they say like we support your right to unionize, we support your right to organize, and then behind the scenes they're hiring anti-union consultants
Right.
and holding captive audience meetings and trying to like bribe but not bribe or punish but not punish. Like they know how to skirt the legalities and it's just really frustrating. So the fact that through all of that they won in a landslide, which was like 19-3, um it's super inspiring, and I think it's just going to show the rest of like the industry that you can do it and you shouldn't be exploiting your labor for, CEOs to make billions of dollars off your labor. You should absolutely see some of that return.
Yeah, absolutely. And is there anybody that you want to shout out who also helped organize over at Raven this huge push and everything that's been going on and also like what was your
Yeah, I
personal
mean,
like role
so many
in all
people
of that?
supported us. Like everybody on Twitter supported us. People from like other studios supported us. We had like game workers of Southern California who like showed up to all of the walkouts and had signs and had like pins that said rehire them all, like when the Raven stuff happened. That was amazing. And I actually got to go to Wisconsin with somebody from game workers of SoCal, which was really great. Her name is Julie. She's wonderful. um we just had the best time, like finally having that full circle moment of like all of us are from different studios and working on different projects, but we like all care so much about the industry and the people that we're all willing to like meet up and help Raven win their union. And now that
Yeah.
they've won, I feel like it just kind of sparks that like across the rest of the industry. Hopefully we'll see more.
Were these all people who were in QA roles, or was there anybody else who, like, even though they don't work in QA, decided to like show up and support?
Yeah, actually, we had a lot of support from non-QA, from QA, from just people in other studios, like even up to the director level. It's amazing to see people that are like for the cause. They want the workers to be treated better, especially QA, because I feel like an old view of QA is just that you're like the janitors of game development when it's actually really like reverse engineering technical work. And even if you're in the, going in as a QA tester, you're still doing really important work. And it's cool to see everybody kind of like coming, you know, to bat for QA because you never saw that before. It was just like, oh, well, you work on video games, you test video games. It's just like grandma's boy, and it's not.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
I blame
absolutely.
grandma's boy, even though I love that movie.
When I first got started in the games industry and was going to school for video game production, that was like trying to explain to my relatives like what I wanted to do. That was always the, or even just close friends that didn't really get it. That was always the movie they brought up, like, oh, like Grandma's Boy, and I was just like,
Yeah.
this
Oh,
movie
oh,
has done
My
oh.
us so much
relatives didn't
harm.
let me bring it up because their young kids were around and they were like, "Don't tell them you work on video games." I was like, "Okay, shit, sorry."
Like, oh, I'm sorry, like. I like what I do and make a good living doing it. Like, my bad.
Sorry, I'm cool.
I guess I'll go work in an Amazon warehouse and have a
Yeah.
real job or something. I don't know. Yeah, one of
Unionize all my
All right,
songs.
wait. Ladies, gentlemen, MBs, beyond, we now
Ladies.
have ladies. That's kind of, I kind of just put them in the beyond. No offense. Just there's so many people.
What do we
take
have?
forever. Cheeseburb has been submitted.
What is it?
Yeah.
Cheeseburb emote
Yes.
is submitted. It's on its way to Jeff Bezos' desk to approve.
We
Let me
just need his
get a
approval.
better image. Let me get the MPNG opened here. There we go.
Oh yes. Oh.
By the way, the technical term for lady is duck, apparently.
duck.
Duck,
Duck, like the bird,
Duck.
or like T.
like the bird,
Okay.
like duck,
Oh,
like
I
the
love
bird.
it.
Interesting.
I don't know
I
why.
don't know.
Ducky.
I was just
Duckies?
informed. But
Yo, any
maybe
ducks
I'm
in the
wrong.
chat? Quackers?
Hey, ducks in the chat.
Quack quack.
Ducks in the chat. Is there
Yo.
not-
I hope that wasn't
Wisconsin?
offensive. I just wanted to make like a poggers joke. I'm sorry.
Oh, I hope it wasn't either. I'm so sorry. I just think I'm funny, and I'm probably not. So
Exactly.
if I
See,
ever
me
say
and Jess are
something
on the same
offensive-
wavelength.
But yeah, one of the topics we covered last week was our mutual friend Andrew Carl over at Vicarious Visions. He kind of, I don't know if you knew this, but Business Insider did an interview with him, and he talked about like
I did see that.
great article, and I loved how he
It is
called
great.
out like starting in QA and
Wait. Sorry, Jess, is your thing
specifically
out?
called out the union.
Your thing
Is
is
my
out,
who
right?
what?
I don't want to say it in case it isn't. Your thing. The thing
My
you got all
thing?
beautiful for the other week.
Oh
New York
yeah,
Times,
that's
yeah.
out.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Did you
yeah.
not
Let's
see
get that
my
up.
New York
No, let's
Times
get that up. I
article,
was surprised
Mike?
I wasn't there. I didn't want to say they don't like it when you talk about it too early sometimes. I didn't want to say it if it wasn't.
I know.
Why didn't we cover this?
Yeah, well, let's. I mean, that's definitely something we can talk about. Jess, do you wanna? What was the process of like? How did you feel when the New York Times reached out to you and asked
Yeah.
if you wanted to be featured?
Yeah, they were just like, "Hey, you want to talk about unionizing the game industry?" And I'm always like, "Yeah, of course I do, because I want as much exposure." Like Mike mentioned, the Streisand effect. That is me as a person. So yeah, they wrote about the upcoming Raven vote, which was super cool, and they met me in my hometown, which is San Pedro, California. You could see the gorgeous coastline behind me, and I got super glammed up because I was like a professional photographer. I want these photos, so I'm gonna go hard. So yeah, and then so this is what dripped out trade unionists retweeted, which was super fun. I think it was this photo, or it was the other drunk photo, which is also great. But and anyway, yeah, they reached out to me, and they talked about like the struggle to get this far to the vote and what it means for like the bigger community, and then some of the like, you know, how working QA is difficult, and why it was so kind of easy to organize QA, just because they are grossly mistreated and undervalued. So it was a cool article. If you haven't caught it, you should totally catch it. And I'm dripped out. You know,
Were you
no cheese
nervous?
hat yet.
Like, I mean, you've done
This
so
was
many interviews at
peaches.
this point. I have to imagine you're
I'm
kind
always
of a pro at
nervous,
it.
but I'm not a pro. I just talk, and then when I get home later at night when I'm laying in bed, I'm like, that was fucking weird. That was fucking weird. And then I hate myself for like 20 minutes, and then it's fine.
And then the article comes out, and it's like, oh, I
Yeah.
sound like smart. It always comes out very like eloquent, and it's good
Yeah,
stuff.
it's surprising they like make me sound so smart, and I'm just like,
In real life, I just have a cheese hat. Like, what?
yeah, I'm just a woman with a cheese hat and a dream to organize every single studio that
Yeah.
makes
I
video
mean,
games. Oh yeah.
you're one of the few people who, you know, doesn't just talk about like, oh, like I wish there were unions, like I wish
Yeah.
this, I wish that, like you actually take action and not only
And try
that,
my
but like
best.
organize it. And now
I'm but a
that's
humble
literally your
unionist.
job. And
I
yeah,
like
you
making
got
people's lives
featured.
easier.
You got featured on Philip DeFranco, which that's a huge flex, like in my
I
world,
know.
because
I said my name.
I love Philly.
Aw,
I've been
Mike.
He's been my source of like news and information since I was
Same.
God, I don't know, probably the last like
I do like Philly D.
decade.
I will say he's a little bit too centrist on things, but I do like Philly D. And I do get why he's like that, because
Yep.
YouTube is very much a platform that punishes you for feeling a certain way. So
I appreciate
think-
that he checks himself on it. He's very much at every point like, for the most part, unless he actually does really interject, he's like, I am being a centrist on purpose for the sake of my platform.
yes.
Sometimes he'll even do like the both sides, and then he'll straight up be like, "But this side is like stupid."
Yeah.
Like
No,
this is
I
idiotic.
totally respect him, and it was really funny because as soon as so I held the Twitter space because we were supposed to hold a live stream on Twitch, but it just wasn't working. And then I was like, okay, fuck it, like I'm just gonna host a Twitter space and like read off as the NLRB is counting the votes. So I did that, and then after I hosted the Twitter space, I closed it, and then I got a follow from Philly D, and then I got a DM immediately, and I was like, dang, he was like watching. So I was like, yeah, and then we interviewed. Literally, that photo is like me in one of the GWA members' car driving to the airport. It was like right then. And then it went live that evening. So they're very fast, their production team. Yeah, I was so grateful to just have that platform because that's like, he has like millions of followers and viewers. So I'm like, dang, if we can get that shout out for like the first unionized like QA team in the United States, that's just going to be amazing. So I was very grateful to him for that. That's why I was like, I jumped on it right away. I was like, of course.
Yeah.
Of course I'll do that. So that was really
Huge
cool.
media blitz. Like it all happened like right leading up to the Raven QA vote. And that's a lot of attention for a organization that at the end of the day is 22, 23 people.
Yeah.
Which
I know. They're
like
famous.
if that much buzz is generated around something like that and around these small like Starbucks, like individual Starbucks unions,
We have
it all just
power.
goes back to what we were saying, where it's like this movement will only continue to build.
We were trending on Twitter, Raven Software was, and we made the front page of Reddit, which we we had a couple beers and we were telling the hotel lobby staff that we made the front page of Reddit. It was quite hilarious because Wisconsin people are very cute and they're very sweet and they just do their job. So they were like, "Oh, that's great. That's great."
That's
And
so
we're
nice.
just like,
good for you. Good for you.
yeah, and we're just like, we made the front page of Reddit. Like we were so nerds. But yeah, it was a freaking awesome time, and I'm glad I got to like experience that, especially after so much suffering for the last like weeks, just trying to get this together and dealing with anti-union stuff. And it sucks being like,
Been a hard month.
yeah. Oh, I also got this chair. This is like the Wisconsin chair. So yeah, the
Nice.
QA team has a seat at the table.
Is that what it represents?
It does now. But no, this is like the Wisconsin chair, which I thought was super cute. And I made that joke and I was like, why is like there's so many metaphors in this state? I'm literally moving here. I also saw a turkey. And then it was doing very suspicious things. I got like harassed by a turkey.
Oh, okay, all right. Wisconsin turkeys, not PC.
Yeah. And yeah, they were like missing feathers, so he was definitely a degenerate. Yeah, he was just I was like so excited to see a turkey too because I was like, I've never seen a wild turkey. And then I saw the turkey and yeah.
Well,
Wait, you've never seen a wild turkey? Is that not a thing in California? Okay, crazy story.
We have peacocks and quails, but we don't have turkeys.
So my family has like wild turkeys that like roam our yard, all right? Like, it's like kind of show up.
I love
completely random
stories.
But also to add on it, when I was going back to Michigan, my mom decided to raise 12 turkeys just spontaneously out of nowhere and build a coop. Like just like out of nowhere. Just like so like we were building like I show up to Michigan and we're building a coop.
Yeah.
And like bird flu's going around in Michigan, so like we can't give the turkeys away. So like March rolled around and that's when turkey lay eggs. So my mom collected turkey eggs and was really excited about that. And we couldn't give away the turkeys, so she just like let them out. So the turkeys are wandering. More turkeys are wandering my family's front yard.
Aww.
And when my dad whistles, like they all come to the front door, and it's like the weirdest fucking thing.
I want to be a Disney princess that has turkeys.
My dad's a Disney princess who is...
I do a really good turkey noise.
I love that.
I do a really good
One more
turkey
time,
noise.
Jess. Can we get another gobble for the chat? That was
amazing.
Weird. Actually,
I do a good turkey. I also do a really good pigeon.
I can actually do a pretty good meow. Wait, my throat's dry.
I don't.
I forget it. We're not doing the cat.
I'm the only one allowed to make an ass out of myself on this show. All right, that's my brand.
My brand. What do you see with your special eyes?
I see unions.
I see unions. So back to unions. I was like shocked when Xbox's Phil Spencer came out and said that like after the acquisition they will recognize the Raven Union.
Yeah,
I
he
did
did
not
say
see that
that.
coming.
So the cool thing about that is now he's on record saying that.
Hmm.
The not so cool thing about that is like I'm always skeptical and optimistic. So Activision said they wouldn't interfere
Yeah.
and are interfering. So they can say one thing and then do another. So I'm a little, and that's why I tweeted. I was like, "Yo, let's have coffee. Like, I'll buy. Hello." Um, I would love for him to just like do the right thing for sure. And
Yeah.
but it sucks because Activision is actively union busting right now, or they're trying to. So you know, I hope the cool thing is like he's on record saying it now. Now I can be like, Phil, what the hell? Like, why is this so hard? Because you literally said this.
Just on be
And
real.
it's kind
Speaking
of
of
funny.
which, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go for it.
I was just gonna say, like, speaking of which, we now know why it's hard for me to get my Leesburg Union Starbucks
Yep.
coffee.
In Virginia, right? He can't get
Mm-hmm.
coffee in Virginia right now because why? Union busting?
Union busting. I literally, so 3 weekends, I went to the Starbucks location to try to get the coffee, to bring it on
Yeah,
stream, to show
I
off my
remember.
Union coffee. And it was pissing me off because there'd be a line around the building. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense. They never had this problem before. But maybe it's
Yeah,
like really, really cool. Union coffee, blah, 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 blah. But no, they've been cutting staff hours. So they're behind.
hours.
So the
Yeah, they do
lines
that.
are long. And that's why there's been a long line of cars wrapped around the Starbucks. And since it's in my
Yep.
community, it's all the notifications are, I guess, are going around in like our Facebook groups and stuff. Did I post this? I
Mm,
posted this in Discord. Did I not?
No,
Did I
no,
not? Did I not?
no.
I
Ollie,
think you
it's
did,
because
or maybe not.
they're hiring
But
Pinkertons. Let's be real.
yeah,
They're hiring
apparently
Pinkertons.
they've been slashing hours of all the baristas that are pro-union.
Oh my god, they're hiring Pinkertons. Jeez.
Wait,
I just
what?
know we put up.
This is fake. This is the Onion, by the way. This is the Onion. It's just a funny joke.
Jesus.
Oh, it's the Onion.
But let's be real.
Man, what a dystopian life we
Corporations have
live.
done so much worse with money in an attempt to stop like unions that I would believe they would do this. They
A
would waste this
union.
money.
No,
I
they used to
posted.
straight up kill people. They used to
Yeah.
disappear people for unionizing back then.
I posted this
Like
in our
my dad's in
organization.
the
Was
oh,
your
go
dad
for it.
was your dad the person that disappeared the people? Is that how you
No,
got into this
but
work?
he's in a union
Mhm.
called the ILWU, which is the International Longshore Workers Union. So longshore workers are dock workers that take the shipping containers off the ships and, drive them wherever they need to go. Or if it's like brand new cars off the lot that need to be like put in a dealership, they drive those off the ships. So it's like a commerce, like shipping and loading stuff. But anyway, back then people wanted good health care because they were literally dying on the job. So they fought really hard to unionize, and they have a day called Bloody Thursday that commemorates that day because people actually died fighting the boss. Like they actually did. So yeah,
Oh,
people used to get disappeared. They will try to outsource jobs or automate jobs, or it's just weird. We might see digital Starbucks baristas. Who knows?
I
Who
wouldn't be
knows what
surprised.
they're willing to do to thwart paying people what they deserve and taking care of their medical, dental, everything. Like, why
Yeah.
are teeth and eyes a luxury in the United States? That
And all of
just
the resources that go towards shutting things down, like the fact that they'll mobilize to this
yes,
day, they still mobilize
hundreds
local
of
police
thousands of
forces
dollars,
to
millions.
shut down
Yes,
protests.
I
Um,
posted
yeah.
in our Discord the paper notification that the union has shared with the community, talking about what's going on. It's in
Oh
our
yes, you did.
organizing channel.
and the sorry,
Okay,
and
yeah,
yeah, it's in
I
the summer
remember.
ideas. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you want to join our Discord and check it out, that's the thing to do the thing, and then it's in organizing.
Yep, and they've got a GoFundMe going on right now too, that people can
Yes,
donate to for everybody
Oh,
whose
please
hours have
sweet.
been
donate.
slashed. Um, but yep. Oh, it's all good.
Okay,
Um,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm hopeful that like specifically because Phil Spencer is on record, he like
Saying it, yeah, that's the only thing
is
where I'm like,
yeah, because that's such a like that's the kind of statement you never see from the figurehead of
right,
a corporation, right? Like they'll
of a
always kind of
studio,
like
correct.
they'll usually make statements that can kind of like you can get
Yeah,
around it that are wishy-washy. But
I'm
this is just
just
like
so
very, you know,
jaded
I
from
think it'd be
Activision being
suicide
yeah.
for
Activision.
him not to go through because his whole
No, I
like thing in community
agree.
is his reputation. He's one of the few people in games where you know his
Right.
name and he has like a brand associated with himself and not the
Yeah, that's
company.
true.
But
But
I
like
will say, if
That's
he,
true.
this is
I
my
do
shout
feel
out. This
like
is
he's
my call
different in
out, my
that regard.
WWE call out to Phil Spencer to come on this
Oh,
show
snap.
and be interviewed by Jess about
I
the
want a
union.
coffee.
That's
that would
it.
be great. Yeah,
Yeah.
just a
No, no
coffee.
Let's get
coffee. No, no
coffee.
coffee.
I'll buy him
No
a
coffee
coffee.
here on the show. No coffee.
A coffee on the show. If he comes on the show, I will go to his house, personally make him one of my Josh Miller famous morning lattes.
Oh, what the fuck? I don't even get a morning latte, you piece of
Well,
shit.
you know, Jesse, I can. Okay, I'll start by going to your house before the show. I'll give myself 2 hours in advance. Make you coffee.
Okay.
Drive to
Thank
Phil
you.
Spencer's house. Also make him coffee so that you guys can, and then make it back to my house before the show starts so that we can all have coffee and talk about it. But at this point, the coffee's
So
lukewarm and it's gonna
I
be have to
think
be reheated.
I think we should have Phil Spencer referee the fight between myself and Bobby Kotick. I think that would be a very full circle moment that a lot of people would pay to view.
Is this gonna be the next streamer fight? The streamer
It's the
showdown?
Yeah,
next
it's gonna
creator
be the
clash. The
the
next creator
streamer
clash.
showdown. It'll be gamer clash or like game dev clash, and I just
Brawlhalla,
I
not
just need
TM.
like 5 minutes. I mean, okay, disclaimer, I don't want to hurt anybody, okay? But it's
Minecraft.
just very frustrating when you're being ignored for so long. And like, I feel like Phil Spencer actually acknowledging GWA is also kind of making Activision look childish in this way. So it's definitely a win in that regard as well, because it's like, okay, well, look how easy it is for this person to recognize the union and he's not even owning us yet. So what's the deal here? Um, I don't know if Activision's going full scorched earth here, but
Yeah,
we'll have to
they seem
see.
petty. Honestly, the leadership seems really
Yeah,
petty, and they're just trying to like.
really,
I think this will be a case of
really.
like Activision Blizzard as it is now, trying everything in their power to get the union shut down before the acquisition. But if the acquisition goes through,
Ugh,
Phil
I
might
hope
just be a
not.
homie and be like, "All right, cool. Now we recognize you. Like you're good to go. Approved." But
Yeah.
that's an ideal. I don't know. That's an idealistic point of view. We'll see. Hopefully, that's
We
how it
need
works.
just everyone to unionize by that time. If we all unionize by the time that the deal goes through, then we don't have to worry about it because we're all union anyway. So they can have their money and we can have our better working conditions, better pay, better protections.
Yeah. Now, so quick question in regards to like the organization of GWA, because I know that like I'm sure
Yeah.
it's in its infancy. I'm sure there's a
Yes.
lot to figure out. Do you
Yes.
because when we interviewed the SAG lawyer, she mentioned
Mm,
that you know generally like one union will just cover like a that one discipline like the GWA as it is now would
yes.
like you know do you just want to cover QA workers and then if other
No,
branches
I
want
would
to unionize?
love. Yeah, no, I would love to have something like the film. So, like, the vision of the game developer union in my head is like every discipline is in the union, right? And then you have big studios and you have little studios. Little studios can rent out contracts from the union and they can use them if they're indie, they don't have a lot of money to pay people full time. And I feel like, you know, how there's always like this revolving door of talent anyway. If a project finishes, you just go back to the union and then you get assigned another project or something. So it's like a cycle of people that are talented going from studio to studio because that's kind of what happens anyway. They
Yeah.
just have protections during that time and they have, you know what I mean? It's like you go, you get your job for the day or for the week or month or whatever, and then work on that job and then you can work on something else. Or if you're like, yeah, and then that would be like the it's kind of similar to the way that ILWU does it. They have like casual workers who are like your entry level workers. They still have the protections, but they go from, wherever they're needed. And then, when you get a certain amount of hours, they elevate you to like the mid level. And then you get like first picks at the job. So you can like pick whatever studio you want to work at or like do this or that. And then the top would be like the people that have elevated above that level of hours, and they get to like stay somewhere or be like a director, or that would be really cool, you know. That's like I'm not like a strategic business planner. I just think that that would be a really cool way to keep people creative and not burnt out. Because you're still having the entry level workers, like the casual workers who are coming in and taking up anything that, you know, needs to make a deadline or needs to, like, even if crunch does exist, they're getting paid for that crunch, you know. So I just think that would be cool. I think that would be the best way to probably design something like that. But again, it's so in its infancy, and right now this is just the quality assurance team. Whatever they decide is really going to be their working conditions, because at the end of the day, they know what it's like to work at their studio. So they're going to obviously get together and you know, carve out something that makes sense for the quality assurance department there.
And so what
But
are the
yeah,
like next steps from this point now that you guys have
so it would
successfully voted?
be
Is
yeah,
it going to the bargaining table?
so it would be like a committee working on that contract, and then presenting that contract to the bargaining table. But that part also scares me, because I mean they won't even listen to the DFEH. So like, why are they going to want to negotiate with people who just unionized and they tried really hard to fight against it? Also, I think a lot of the
Legally, don't
anti-union
they have to
messaging,
though?
they do, but a lot of the anti-union messaging is like negotiating a contract is going to take forever, and so they gave the rest of QA raises and didn't give Raven a raise because they claimed it's because they were in the middle of unionizing and they didn't want to be seen as like bribing. But it was actually a way for them to be like, look, all the QA testers that didn't unionize, you have these extra benefits now, and you have this raise now. So it's kind of like, please don't unionize, because you know we're giving you things. But then they don't realize that in the longer run, when they unionize, they're going to have even better protections. So they're trying to do like the short fix, but they're losing in the long game, in my opinion. We'll
Yeah.
see, but
So what Activision is trying to essentially do is make conditions so bad for Raven QA. They're essentially trying to like
yeah,
wait them out.
yep.
And if I'm assuming if everybody who is part of the Raven QA union like gets fed up and leaves Raven, then they're just hoping that that movement will dissolve and things go back to normal and they just backfill those positions.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because they actually opened up recs for all the people they laid off already, which is dumb because that means there was a labor need the whole time. So
Now, do you have any idea of what like when you make it to the bargaining table, do you have a number in mind for how much you want the QA workers to be paid?
yeah, I mean, I on a personal level and a progressive level and a socialistic level would love for like a $35 minimum wage. That would be like the dream. That would be people can survive. That would be people aren't in mental health crises or choosing between medicine and work and all this stuff. So that would be like my ideal like low point. Um, you know, leaving Blizzard, I was making 69,000 a year.
Nice.
Um, yeah, yeah. But
What does
you
that
know,
break
that
down
would
to
be great
hourly?
because
69 is like
I think that's like I think that's like 25 point something. I forget. It was like
25 an
25
hour.
something. And even
And
that felt like I was getting by barely. So I
yeah,
would say 35 for everyone starting out, not just QA. I feel like every like that should be base. Because why the freak is inflation going up every year, but we're not getting a minimum wage? Like that just does not make sense.
right. Like things
So
between now and the last 2 years, I think
yeah.
are like, I mean, almost 200% higher. So it's like,
Yeah, and if you have an office in Santa Monica or like Irvine, there's no reason why you shouldn't be paying $35 an hour. You know, even
absolutely.
Madison, Wisconsin, which words is the capital. It's a little pricey there. It's a little bit pricier. So like they're obviously putting their studios in places that are more expensive. And it's like, okay, you know, I can't you know, give like a specific number for Raven because they know what's best for them, right? Like the boss likes to argue that CWA is a third party, but it's very much not. CWA just gives you the tools or resources to be a union. So they are the union, and if they if they reach something that seems reasonable for both parties, and that's great. But I'm very much hoping that Activision just does the right thing. I've been seeing that for several months, so we'll see.
Yeah. I can hear like when you say 35 an hour, I can almost hear the shouts and the outcry
Oh yeah,
immediately. That's like 35 an hour, like that's a ridiculous wage for playing video games. And also like, well, programmers and designers don't in entry level roles don't
they
even
make
make that
that.
much. And it's like, well, if they're not making that, then
Yeah,
they should as well, if not more. Um,
yeah,
so I don't think that that's really like a justifiable like whenever a high tide raises all boats, right? I don't think it's
yeah,
a justifiable argument to say that like, well, other roles that are harder don't make that much, so QA shouldn't make that much. It's like, well, they're all hard
yeah.
roles. They're all
They
involved in
all should be
production.
paid more. That's
Yeah,
always what I say when they're like, "Well, engineers don't even." I'm like, then fucking ask for a raise. Like, hello. It's like weird when they're almost to the point of getting it, and then they just don't.
yeah. And I
They
think
want to punch down.
the company does use this divisionism to their advantage at
They want
times.
to.
Because I've had discussions with game production workers, like producers in particular, who work
Yeah,
in lower income areas, so like they make less for their area, but like still a good wage for where they live. So when they find out that like a producer in
right.
LA makes like 3 times as much, it's like, whoa, like why are they getting paid more to do the same job? And then it creates this
Yeah.
like animosity, when in reality it's like, don't be
Well,
angry
my
at the
rent is
person
two
who's
thousand
making
five
more.
hundred dollars.
Yeah, that too.
My
Yeah.
water and
Like,
power bill is $300.
but it's like, don't punch down, don't punch, to the front, the
Yeah,
colleague
don't
next to
punch
you, like
down.
punch up, like be mad at the company.
Yeah,
Speaking of
yeah,
which,
because that's what the company wants. Like, they want you to eat each other.
and they have the money to pay.
Yeah,
Look at the
they
fact
do.
that the Overwatch and Call of Duty esports teams owe Activision Blizzard what is it, 400, like approximately 400 million. Like that's, first of all, that's
Yeah, that's
wild.
insane.
It's not surprising because the leagues aren't profitable, like they don't really make
Oh
money.
no.
And the like from the beginning, are you
Yeah,
having some mic problems there? Jess?
I am lagging a little bit, so I'm
Oh, are
hoping
you?
that um,
Mike, are we getting
just to,
are we
Yeah,
getting lag
she
in the
she
stream?
sees just her. It looks like. If you want to maybe like reconnect your camera again, or get a little derpy Josh for a
okay,
second.
I'm gonna do that really
Wait,
quick.
you're good. You're good. You're good. You're
Okay.
good. Never mind. I fixed stuff.
Oh, yep, yeah, I think
Okay.
I think it's just your internet kind of getting chugged every now and again.
Oh, good old
okay.
Los Angeles.
I have
You mean the
noticed you've been
internet I paid
responding to me.
$95 a month for?
I have noticed you've been responding to me a little slower than normal, so I think it's just things going on with you on your end.
Look, Jess,
Oh,
it's not you, it's me.
yeah.
It's me.
Okay.
But yeah, this is the Overwatch League teams owe an insane amount. They're not really profitable on their own end, so it makes sense that they've been deferring their payments to Activision Blizzard. And in this article, apparently the person who used to run the league, what's his name? Former Activision Blizzard head of esports, Brandon Snow, considered waiving all outstanding franchise payments, but left the organization before that could have been considered. So yeah, this is
Oof.
interesting because like to owe, I think each individual team owes the league like around 6 to 7 million, and
Oh my
yeah,
God.
with all of the teams in the league, that adds up to a significant sum, but they just can't they can't pay those debts because they themselves are not profitable.
But let's go
And
LA Thieves with our win
Yeah.
this weekend. Let's go. Give it up.
congratulations, good job, LA Thieves. But I mean, even LA Thieves, which is one of the bigger ones, right? And they make a lot of like money
Yeah.
through merchandising and all that good stuff. Like from the start, there was a lot of outrage over the obscene entry fees that the teams had to pay to be a part of the Overwatch and Call of Duty leagues. If I'm correct, Mike, didn't the
Yeah.
head of the 100 Thieves originally like not decide like they weren't going to enter the Call of Duty league because of how much it cost?
I think so.
As a not Call of Duty person, I have no comment because I don't want to speak incorrectly.
What's
Yeah.
the founder of 100 Thieves?
Nate Shot?
Yes, Nade Shot. Yeah, I remember there was a like he released a super like sad video at the onset of the Call of Duty League where he, despite the like long history of 100 Thieves being
Mm.
involved in Call of Duty, I think they were absent for the first year because the entry fees were too high. And then of course clearly
Yeah.
they eventually got back into it because they are part
I
of the
just
league
Googled it.
now.
You're correct. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Um,
so is this that the league itself owes Activision Blizzard money?
No, it's that so the league, like the league is Activision Blizzard. It runs the league.
Oh,
It's these individual
okay.
teams that like when to be a part of the league, they have to pay an upfront fee every year that is like
Oh,
absorbently expensive. Um and they just can't afford to because it's not like
yeah.
it's not super profitable. So the
Okay.
payments had been deferred through the duration of the pandemic, but now that deferment is clearly over and they owe all this money.
Oh,
But yeah, they can't afford it. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen to the leagues. And the like internally, the Call of Duty and Overwatch leagues have kind of been like dying down for a while because uh Overwatch 2 has just been delayed and like over and over
yeah.
again. So it'll be interesting to see if the
We'll
leagues
see.
are even around.
I think as a settlement, the union should get to enter their own teams into the league, the
You-
union teams.
yeah, I want a GWA team.
Be
Aw.
the Act Blizz U or something like that. I don't know, but you get to enter every year and just whatever money you win, you get it. You don't have to pay nothing.
All union dues will go towards creating an esports team. The look of disapproval. Um, but I think that again, what's likely to happen is once Microsoft acquires Activision Blizzard, they'll look at the esports teams and just be like, I mean, this is penny, like the money that these teams owe are
Yeah.
pennies in the grand scheme of things. And
You'd be surprised. Bobby's gonna get his money.
yeah, it's we will see. Um, I think it's good to have like a healthy, even if it's not profitable. I think it's like good from a
Yeah.
marketing perspective to have these like esports organizations because it gives like a sense of like recognition to video games
Yes.
and esports and all that stuff. So
I mean, in
uh
a way, isn't this just like the new E3, right? This is the new marketing budget for these games, these companies, and these
yeah,
industries where
yeah.
like it used to be
Yeah.
showcase events, and now we've moved away from that.
If you look at it as a marketing like item, I think it's absolutely worth the cost. But unfortunately, like I don't think like internally, I don't think they look at
Right.
it from the marketing perspective. And they just
Mm.
look at it as like, is the league profitable? No, and so they've been like laying off people
Yeah.
and kind of trying to like
But
trim it the
I
league.
think honestly, like especially as like things move digital, these are more like events and esports are more engaging than even like a live stream Nintendo Direct or a state of play. And I think like this is how they should be looking at it if they want to move away from physical events. This should become
Mm.
part of the advertising budget is how they handle like esports and whether that means like that could mean like doing shorter leagues but making the events themselves bigger every time. Like every match
Yeah.
is a bigger spectacle, you know?
Yeah.
But also, I just don't think it needs. I don't think it needs to be profitable. Same with BlizzCon. One of the reasons they canceled it this year, on top of all of the backlash that was going on at the time, that they wouldn't want a BlizzCon during the middle of all of that. But also, like one of
Yeah.
the things every year is that like BlizzCon isn't profitable. Like I hear that. I heard that the first year that they did a digital only one during like the midst of COVID was that
Mhm.
like they want to start like uh dialing BlizzCon back a little bit because it's not profitable. And it's like is the
Yeah.
goal of that to be profitable? Like I thought it was to generate like a sense of community and buzz for your games and have like a big event where you can announce like make all the announcements for the year and
Well,
all that stuff.
before it was like everything post Bobby Kotick is just to be profitable because
Yeah.
that's the only way he's gonna approve a budget for you.
But it's
So
like it increases the profits of your other titles because you have an event that's like bringing people together and
yeah.
all that stuff. But
Yeah,
I just I
like
don't
Well,
like
while
it.
we get
merch
to
sales
the
go up
oh
15%. And they're like, it's just gonna make good merch. It's like, no, it's because you held events and you engage your community to make them want to buy the merch, the $100 statues, that shit.
Yeah, and that's exactly what the Overwatch League does. Like
yeah.
Overwatch 1 wouldn't still be as big of a game as it is now if they didn't have the league that have kept a recurring audience year after year. Speaking
Yeah.
of which, I do want to give a shout out. I have not personally like watched the streamer, but I think that it's worth doing a shout out to streamer Joomla, who is sadly passed away.
Mhm.
The community has been paying a tribute the past week. Um,
Yeah.
and games are nothing without the communities that form around them. So I think it's worth giving a shout out to
Yeah,
the people
definitely.
that make
It's
those communities.
always sad when stuff like that happens.
So shout out to Joomla and every if you're a part of the Overwatch community and you watch Joomla, I'm sorry for your loss. Um,
Yeah. I feel like I'm still lagging here. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
cool.
think it's
'Cause
all
I'm
on your
gonna get
end. Because even when you ask that, we answer, and then
weird.
you wait like 5 seconds, and then you're like, okay.
Okay, it's definitely on my end then. Okay, so
Yeah.
while we get towards the end of the show, I'm gonna say goodbye to Hasan, just because one, we're gonna be talking about heavy stuff, and two, he looks a little tired, so I'm gonna just kind of
The magic of the green
bye,
screen is the fact that it just
Hasan.
goes away. Like, I don't have to hit anything, it's just gone.
That was amazing.
Do
It's
we
gone, and now you see my dirty room post travel.
question, do we want to talk about the latest news going on as well involved with this, or
I
Yeah,
think
I
just
think
like the Republican, just like
okay, so you don't want to talk about what just happened today, like a few hours ago?
what just happened today.
what
One
just
second.
happened?
I mean, maybe not.
It's always you breaking stuff to me. Oh, oh God.
11 victims, or at least 11 people shot currently, I believe.
Where?
Tennessee.
Jesus. They're having a shootout.
Sorry, six
Where, at a
people. 6
school?
people. No,
Oh, I
just
know
a
what
shooting,
that
just
is,
a downtown shooting.
Oh shit.
It sounds like other people pulled out guns and engaged in the shooter. If you look at that top headline,
Yeah.
there's like multiple parties actually. Oh my God,
Wow.
what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
So thoughts
Seriously.
with those people, obviously, in the city
Yeah.
of, Chattanooga. They're dealing with this right now.
Let's see.
It's just like it's nonstop.
It
Um,
is. It's so bad. Like to the point where it's like I can't even properly grieve for one because there's another one the next day. Like as
That's
you
what-
can
yeah.
tell.
That's what it's
It's
come to. Is it's
crazy.
just like, oh, there's another one. Like we've run out of the capacity
We're
to
so
process
desensitized to
this.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even in the way our politicians talk about it, it's just like Biden, Kamala Harris
Yeah.
on stage, they were like,
Oh my God.
it's another one. And
Yeah.
it's every time this happens. I mean, the before I knew that there was another shooting, like the story was just gonna be
Yeah.
like, Ted Cruz blames violent video games for another mass shooting, which is what they always do. They always just like it always starts with sending our thoughts and prayers,
Yep.
and also like blaming things that have nothing to do with it. Like, well, violent media, violent culture. It's like,
Yeah.
like over
They're
and over
all
again.
I
they're
always
Learn
love
is
this
part of
shit because
it.
like my parents are in that kind of like mindset, but they let me watch fucking Saving Private Ryan when I was like 8 years old, and it's like, okay, but
Yeah.
they'd be like, you can't play Call of Duty, and I'm like, okay, sure.
There's no denying
Yeah.
that violence in American culture is rampant, especially in the media and entertainment. Like, yeah, sure, absolutely. But there have also been like countless studies that have shown that like playing violent
Yeah.
video games is not like linked to acts of violence. Um,
Can I just say I worked on Black Ops 3 for like a year almost, and I played 8 to 14 hours a day of a shooter, and never once did I have the idea of shooting up an elementary school.
But you do want to fight
So,
Bobby
I
Kotick in the parking
mean,
lot, so let's be clear.
yeah, but that's because he's like capitalist slave master. Yeah, but no, I like it's really hurts when it's very obvious that the issue is like people having unchecked access to guns and getting them on credit and doing like things that should be a flag to the FBI. And it doesn't make sense that like we've regulated uteruses more than we've regulated guns, and these are guns like, yes, Second Amendment. I also believe in the Second Amendment. You should have the right to bear arms. However, back then when that was written, the guns literally you had to like do that too and like pump full of gunpowder and then shoot it at people, right? So like now that you're seeing these like
Yeah, like you couldn't just own a
not
cannon
automatic
back then, is what I
gun-
always say. Like you couldn't just go buy a cannon back
yeah,
in the day.
like this argument is so stupid. Like it's like, okay, so because of the Second Amendment, I should have unchecked access to nuclear weapons. Like like hello, especially when there's a definite trend in the amount of or the specific gun that's used every single time in a mass shooting. Like why? And then the NRA toted like, oh, here's the banned gun on sale because it's banned, and it's like hello, in this society where like you're getting rewarded for selling things, all the gun lobbyists need to do is then sell the guns, right? So like they're scared because they think that they will sell less guns. So like there's no ethical way to be a guns manufacturer salesperson. But
What's actually like
I don't
kind of
know.
crazy about this too is that like the rhetoric isn't just about like the types of guns that exist. It's also about this like
Yeah.
sort of snowball idea where if you ban one thing, if you reduce one item, all things will go away. And like right
The
wingers have this
GOP loves
tendency.
to fearmonger.
Yeah, well, they're saying like we're going to ban all guns, and that's not even the fucking point.
That's
The
not
whole
even it.
point
You can
here,
have a gun.
like you can
Why do you
literally,
care if you would
yeah,
legally be able to own a gun? If you care, you shouldn't own a gun
These are
because then you probably shouldn't own a gun.
these are
You
also
know,
the
like
same
copy
people to be
paste.
like, if you're not doing anything wrong, just comply with the police. And it's like, okay, if you're not
And
going to
that works
misuse your gun,
so
then comply to
well.
the gun
That works
regulations.
so well for Breonna
Yeah.
Taylor too, right?
No,
So-
but
so
that's not what I'm getting into.
yeah.
I'm saying like it's the same.
Yeah.
It's like they can't even keep the same mindset going on.
Right. And then they
No.
talk about good guys with guns,
They're
and the good guys with
so-
guns, all they did were hold the parents back
for an
outside
hour.
the
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
Like they were cuffing parents. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the thing
Yeah.
that's even more ridiculous, even further, I'm just going to go back to my original point. If we copy pasted just like the laws that Australia passed back in the 1990s when they were having their rash of shootings, there'd be they had a 61% decrease in gun violence. And it's not to say that we can obliterate all gun violence. That's obviously not possible, especially
Right.
with how many people love their fucking guns here. But if we did a small reduction, just like
Right.
a 60%, like it's a 60% reduction in gun deaths. Like, holy shit, we have 40,000 people that die a year due to guns. It's like in some years it's been more than car accidents.
Yeah,
And,
there
like,
was
Yeah, we're at like
Yeah.
223 acts of gun violence this year in the country.
And like we've regulated our driving. Like they'll say, well, we don't take away cars because of car accidents.
Yeah.
No, but we regulate the shit out of it. If you don't drive well, we take away your fucking car license. Like it's a thing.
I don't know.
It's
I've seen some really
regulated.
shitty drivers that have licenses. I'll be real.
Yeah, and like the thing is though, like they are going to lose their license if the evidence presents itself. Just like people who are irresponsible gun owners, like there's actual idiots that'll show up to gun ranges, and gun owners don't like these people
Yeah.
too. Like they know who they
Right.
are. They show up to the range and they're dangerous as fuck. There's like that instructor who like let the 9-year-old use the Uzi in Arizona like 3 or 4 years ago and got himself
And
killed.
died.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there are people like that. There's people who are going to have mishaps with their guns, and those are the people who are going to have their licenses taken away. Those are the people who should have their gun rights infringed
And that's the
because
people
they're
you want them
irresponsible with their rights. They're irresponsible. You can't have rights if you
No,
don't have
I agree.
responsibility. It's ridiculous.
I
Anyway, sorry.
I
Not to rant.
wholeheartedly agree. And I want to let Josh talk before I go on a very long rant.
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say, Sky News, a reporter from Sky News, even confronted Ted Cruz in a viral video that's
I saw that.
circulating right now, and it's essentially like he's asking why does this only happen in America? Why is American exceptionalism so bad? And Ted immediately gets super defensive and goes on a rant about how like America is like everyone wants to come here and it's the safest country, and it's like
want our viewers
what
to
a
pay
flub,
attention to
right?
this.
Like in context, it's the safest country. You're gonna say that right after
Yeah,
a
what
mass
the
shooting
hell is
where a
wrong
bunch of
with
people died.
you?
in your
Like,
country. I really think
yeah,
that's
it's-
what many people
He also
around
went
the
to
world just
Cancun when
they
Texas
cannot
people
fathom.
were
Why
dying
only in
from not
America? Why
having
is
heat in
this
their
American
homes.
exceptionalism
He has no morals.
so
or
awful?
ethics. Absolutely not.
So we
know,
as
I'm
a
sorry you
society
think American
have
exceptionalism
progressed
is
past the
awful.
need
I
for
think
Ted
this
Cruz,
aspect-
and I
I
think
think
we should
this
just throw him in a
aspect-
dumpster and reform the
You got your
country.
political agenda.
No, it's honestly-
In
love you.
Minecraft.
Why is America the only country that
Roblox,
faces this
something,
kind of
whatever.
In Minecraft.
mass shooting?
But you can't answer that. You can't
Minecraft.
answer
Also,
that,
I'm going to
can
go
you,
on a
Sam? You can't
very
answer
long
that. Why
rant
is
about
this-
the GOP, so buckle up.
Can I join in when you're done?
So the GOP likes to talk about grooming in like LGBT spaces. Is like they're grooming our children, they're grooming our children, they're grooming our children. When they literally fetishize weapons since the child is like old enough to even play with toys. So, and then they're taking them to gun ranges. Like there's a video of a woman in the United States, like there's like a little boy and he learned how to reload a gun and she's like, good job, congratulate, like, wow, you did it. And it's like, you want to talk about grooming, Republicans and GOP, that's grooming. Teaching a child that, yes, reload weapon is cool. Weapon is manly. Weapon is what it is to be American, then absolutely that's grooming. And y'all should take a long look at your own parenting habits before you even come for the LGBT community who just wants to exist. That's all they want to do is exist. So, end rant.
I don't think that was a long
Indoctrination
rant at all.
is
That was perfect.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Long
It's
story short.
It was a
the
short
constant
rant.
deflection and
The
putting
amount of anger felt long.
You've been angry for a very, very long fucking time. It's true.
Hey, I
I-
was in the GSA in high school. I was in the Gay Straight Alliance.
Hmm.
You've
Yeah,
been
when I was in
Very
high
old
school,
club. I don't even think it exists anymore.
Well, I was gonna say when I was in high school, like I don't think
I
that
know,
club
right?
would have been allowed. Like honestly, like that's how
Well,
like far
we're
we've
in
come.
California. We're pretty progressive here. But I say that as there's like people with like, fuck Biden, let's go Brandon. Complain about
Yeah.
gas prices, but spends hundreds of dollars on let's go Brandon merch.
I mean, that's just Orange County. That's the very specific
Orange
areas
County.
of California that are just extremely red for some reason. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think unfortunately until
But they're
we
leaving,
can
so.
flip Texas, which hopefully is in the next 10 or 20 years, but until that point, and we can take over like a majority
I'm
of
surprised we couldn't flip them after Harvey.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Hurricane
the
Harvey was so bad and everyone failed and like nobody even flipped that state after that. Wild.
because they're so good at deflecting blame and the minute like
It's
instead of
true. And
focusing
it's
on
what you're
things that will
seeing now.
save people,
I also think that
we're gonna
like
talk about Disney and you know how they're grooming
And
kids and
critical
having
race
LG.
theory. There was a
Oh,
joke
can
that
we?
like
Oh, then. Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, and the funny thing about the GOP is they'll talk about how much they love the fucking Constitution, right? And then, like, the
Yeah.
second Disney decides to use their quote unquote free speech that's guaranteed by the Supreme Court, and like, not to say that corporations should be entitled to free speech, I've got like some qualms about that, but in this country, our institutions have
Yeah.
recognized that corporations have free speech. So Disney used their free speech to say that they don't like this bill that was passed in Florida, and then
Yeah.
Florida legislators respond to Disney's free speech by punishing the company and removing their district that they have. And like they're literally passing laws to infringe on the Disney corporation's free speech.
I mean, you
They're
can be more
punishing
specific
people.
than that.
Yeah.
The country doesn't
I mean,
just
this is-
recognize it. The Republican parties are the ones that recognize corporate free speech more than any other party.
Well,
Like,
I mean,
their own party
either
is
way,
the
it doesn't.
problem.
I mean, it doesn't even matter.
No,
like,
but contextually it does, right?
Yeah.
Because
No, no, I
they
mean,
could be like, if it wasn't, they
I
could
don't
be like,
wanna-
oh, that was
No,
Democrats
there's
who
plenty.
pushed for that. But it
Well,
wasn't
the
even.
thing is, well, I know Republicans are the ones who are like, kind of pushing it, but I don't want to get like let the Democrats off the hook on this. The Democrats have definitely 1,000%.
Oh no, of
No,
course.
the
like,
I
been
hate
behind.
everyone.
Yeah,
It's
the
a
Democrats have
multiplier.
been very. Yeah, I'm just saying like that. So the way this works, the Republicans are kind of like the lunatics who want to put gasoline on fire, while Democrats are kind of the ones who are like, "Here's a bucket. I've got this little itty bitty bit of water. This should be enough."
Yeah.
And then progressives are the ones who are like, "Look, we just get a fire engine. Come on, like let's just do this right."
Yeah.
So the thing is, like,
Yeah.
Democrats have been backing this idea of corporations. They'll make the right sounds, but like in terms of policy, they
Yeah.
are just as responsible for making it that corporations have free speech.
I'm
I
sorry, wait.
agree. No, I agree.
Yeah,
Are
no,
you
for
guys
sure.
saying there's hypocrisy in the government? Is that
Oh, yeah.
is
everywhere,
that-
all
absolutely.
sides.
But
Yeah.
specifically,
all
the
levels.
Republicans are the ones who are infringing on free speech. That's the important part. I don't even get into all the.
Yeah, and let's
They're
also
punishing-
like I'll close
Yeah.
that out by saying they also literally think that people that call themselves anti-fascists are bad. Can we just that should just be the end of like
I mean, it's
all
always a self-report.
discussion.
It's always a self-report. They're like, oh, anti-fascist is bad. They're hiding behind, positive terms. Like, oh, you mean
It
like
was
the Catholic
Antifa.
Church and stuff? Like, it's always a self-report. Every single thing they do that's a culture
It
war
is.
is a self-report because they do it and they assume you're doing it because they're doing it.
Yeah. And it's just stupid as hell. Also, we as a society have progressed past the need for not only Ted Cruz and Greg Abbott, but 4chan and 8chan and all of those other horrible,
true.
anonymous, mass shooter breeding websites. Like those websites should absolutely be regulated. And no, that's not a communist thing to say. I think if we can't use the internet responsibly, we should not be able to use it in its unchecked. Like, there's no reason why you should be able to radicalize a teen online, basically. If you also want to talk grooming again, the GOP. But yeah, I mean, it's a good site when used well, but like the fact that people can become so radicalized and have like hate campaigns towards trans people and like all this other stuff going on there, like why is that all unchecked? And I hope that everyone that participates in that kind of stuff is already known to the FBI, but that still doesn't stop things like the mass shootings because that person was also known by the FBI. So it's like, what are we doing as a society
I mean,
to like
there's
stop this
sorry.
stuff from happening? It shouldn't be normal.
Yeah, and there really is a
So,
simple solution. It's just comprehensive background checks. Like
God,
it,
universal
it
background checks. Why is
And
that so
there's
hard?
80% like support for that
yeah.
across both
If
parties.
if
Like
this
it's not even
person
a thing. Like it's
if
just the Republican Party. Or, sorry, go ahead.
in other countries you need references to own a gun.
Yes.
You need
You also need no
three
domestic violence
no
convictions.
convictions. You need 3 references. Which already this guy would not have gotten that because he
No.
asked his sister if she could buy a gun for him prior to him like turning 18 and buying them himself, and she said no.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that that shooter would not have been able to come up with 3 references,
And he was
and
able to
the
buy it on
comprehensive
credit.
the comprehensive background checks also would have like probably found that like he was posting like just horrible things.
Yes.
And there's also the gun show
And the fact
loophole,
that he got 1,000
by the way.
bullets.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
the gun show loophole where like, a 13-year-old can go to a gun show and just buy a gun outright from a random private dealer. Like it's ridiculous. Like
It's
we live in
insane.
a country
Yeah.
and like we don't actually give a shit about this issue. And they keep talking about mental health.
No.
And yeah, mental health is a big deal, but the Republican Party is
Yeah.
also responsible
But
for
they'll
cutting
slash.
funding for
Yeah.
that because they want to support the
Yeah.
police who will then stand outside of a school and make people listen to the sounds of their children being murdered. Like fuck
And
this.
handcuff them.
I think that was really egregious. But I think what makes this event very triggering to most people with a conscience at least is the fact that it has like
Yeah.
every issue this country has been wrestling with over the last decade wrapped into one. It has
Yes.
the gun issue, it has the police
Yes.
reform issue, it has
Yes.
the
Race.
policy, race, and also LGBTQ targeting issue that's happening now online. I mean, carpet bombed.
Yep.
And these are all issues that like have been like radically fought for and protested for
Unchecked.
over the last 10 years,
Yeah.
and nothing has fundamentally changed.
No.
And yet the people who want change get more shit because like the Republicans will be like, oh, you've done all this like radicalization. It's like nothing's happened. Nothing has
Yeah.
changed. What are you talking about? Literally nothing has changed
Yeah.
of any significance at all. Police budgets have gotten bigger. Sorry,
Yep.
that's my little rant.
And the NRA, of course, at the NRA show, somebody said we just need to spend more money on the police because of course they said that because they have to sell guns, right? So it's like we just need to wake up like as a society, like all of us need to collectively wake up and say, yes, it doesn't matter what political preference you are. Kids getting shot in the face is horrible and should never happen to anyone, anywhere. Right? And for how much they want to talk about other shithole countries and like Mexico and gangs and stuff, there are domestic gangs here that people have tabs on in the FBI and aren't even watching. They should like look into their own, and the fact that the White House refused to launch an investigation into that police department because they trust the police. Fascist one, you should absolutely have checks and balances for any system that has the power to take a life or do any of those things. That should absolutely be investigated.
Oh yeah, like even if they
So-
did everything right, like that's just how it should be. Like if there is a shooter incident,
Yes.
there should be a follow-up investigation to see what can be improved or unimproved.
happened?
It's like this is bad. Like we're doing
Yeah.
this in the wrong way. Unimproved
I
isn't
mean,
a word. What
I
the
have
fuck am I saying?
specific triggers towards this because ever since Sandy Hook and the fact that Alex Jones
mom's
was
a
able
teacher,
to go on
so,
a
like,
whole
I get it.
rant that they were crisis actors and it was a false flag operation, and he was able to unchecked say that all over YouTube, and then Joe Rogan gave him a platform to redeem his character after that. Like we as a society have failed. We would rather like keep these edgy humorists up but we're not realizing that it's not humor. It's edgy and divisive, and people want us to hate each other because then it makes it easier to like regulate people that hate each other because it's like, think about collective actions. Like everyone's coming together for one reason. That's the only time we ever get anything done because they're scared of that. So if they're able to divide us and keep us eating ourselves amongst each other, then they don't have to do the work because we do the work. So why can't we just all freaking come together and say, yeah, kids getting shot, bad thing. Let's fix it. So
Jess,
that's just my
Jess,
take
have
on
you
that.
considered that we only need one door? Just one, not two.
No, because then
One
that
door.
hello. Also, I've worked on Call of Duty for several years. You don't want to get a choke point that where the gunman just has to camp.
Yeah.
Like, hello,
Yeah,
there's
it doesn't
so
take
many.
a genius to figure
So the
that out.
actual hero, the heroes, the fire department would like to have a word with you about having one door.
Also, sorry, you're having these kids who are growing up learning these drills. They're learning how specific teachers and things fight against lockdown or active shooter. So they're growing up in these classrooms learning these things. They're being failed by the system consistently, and then they have access to guns. So then it's like, okay, I learned how to like get all the kids that are hiding, or you know what I mean? So it's like you're not solving anything. You're not solving anything by like arming teachers or teaching kids to hide and not wear light up shoes because they can be visible in the dark. You know, like stop slapping band-aids on child murder, please. Let's please have some reform.
My class was like the first high school class to enter high school, and they're basically like, yeah, so there is like our principal just being like I want to be real with you. Like there is a chance we will have a school shooter incident at the school. Like we never did, thank God. It's, like unless I forgot about it and blocked it out, but like, which is possible because I've done a lot of trauma blocking. But like, they were like very like he was very straightforward. It's like he's like you will be the he was like you're gonna be the last graduating class I'm a principal for, and I'll be damned if any of you die on my watch, and I'm gonna make sure it doesn't happen. And it was like, this is our start of the school year, first day of high school speech. Like, and he meant it in a good way. He meant it in a very much like a serious, like not fear mongering, like very serious and unfortunate tone. But it was like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
What it must do to
how much
these
do you want to
kids'
blame
psyches,
like
you know?
video games?
Yeah. My brother's actually growing up his whole like life in it.
Masks are gonna harm their mental well-being.
Also, teachers should have to put their lives on the line, but also we won't pay them a actual living wage to put their lives on the line. But the police who do get a living wage do not have to legally put their lives on the line.
Also,
some of the that's the thing about some of the solutions that have been proposed are just ridiculous. Like, oh well, we need to like arm all teachers and like what?
Because they want to sell guns. That's what the NRA does. They want to sell guns, arm the teachers, spend more money on the police, more military.
Also, in those situations, like those are high stress situations. Do you really think a teacher is going to have the mental wherewithal? Like,
are they going to want to shoot one of the kids that they've known for so long?
Yeah.
I saw some straight up like sci-fi shit where they're like, give all the teachers guns, but the teachers can't use the guns unless a principal hits a button that unlocks the safety on all the guns. I'm like,
I mean, if the police who have been trained allegedly for the last like however many years couldn't use their fucking guns, I don't know how the teachers are supposed to do it, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm just so tired of talking about stuff like this. It's just
me
like,
too.
Do we even want to listen
I
to
am
this quote, by
tired
the
of
way? We
it,
had it
but
queued
it's
up.
very important. And I have a 10-year-old daughter, so it was like extra triggering for me.
yeah, I can't.
I just want to like
have a
hit Ted
kid.
Cruz with a 2x4.
Okay, so this is really what's really fucked up. So like I've got a kid who's about to enter kindergarten, right?
Yeah.
And she's talking about like, so we were in like Michigan for a little bit, like last year. So my parents were watching like the Oxford high school shooting, and like my kid had like seen the coverage for that or whatever else. So we're talking about like, getting ready for school and like things to think about. And she was like, oh, I'm so nervous about school, blah, 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 blah. And, I asked her like, all right, well, what are you afraid about? And she's like, well, I'm not sure if I make any friends. Also, what if there's a school shooting? And I'm like, holy shit. My rising kindergartner is afraid
My 10-year-old
of getting shot. She has no context for it. She's too young to actually understand what that means, but like that's the thing she's like thinking about.
Yeah, it's like a fire
my
drill.
daughter-
Like they're just like, oh, I'm afraid this might happen. That'd be kind of scary. And they like, it's like you don't know the words you're saying.
It's like normal for them because they've been told that they're not safe for so long, which we fucking failed our children. We failed our future generation because like I had like earthquake drills. Yeah, we had a couple bomb threats growing up, but like we never had active shooter drills. Like I cannot imagine giving children like war veteran style combat, like PTSD, and then crying that there's a mental health crisis in the country,
Like seriously.
Let's also remember, like, the people making this policy are the people who went to, like, Nam and stuff like that, who, like, went as children's into one of the most gruesome war zones in history in terms of like, you know, like the kind of shit that went down. And like they're like, yeah, but you know, not that bad if the kids have a school shooter coming at them when they're like half that age.
Well, most of the people who were making the policy were draft dodgers anyway. They were staying at home. Of
course. Of course.
Elite,
I'm just, but
right?
people
Like,
are voting
go to
for them
Vietnam.
still. That's what I'm saying.
They only
like,
send the poor. They have okay. So
laws
thing,
for we, not for me.
the rich have no interest in protecting the poor
May,
class.
yes, they do.
because
Every single one. I
There's
don't know
no
a single
return
one
in that
doesn't.
for them. Sure, but they need the labor, yes. But in instances where it's like poor children lives, NRA gun lobbyists, they choose the NRA gun lobbyists because they probably get paid to their campaigns from them. They don't get paid from elementary school children, right? So of course they're gonna like say it's not the guns, it's the video games. Like they're gonna blame the teachers, they're gonna blame mental health, they're gonna blame literally everything except the thing that can fix it.
You know, the first time I was actually
So.
teaching in a school, like the first time, like it was like literally my first day professional chess coaching, whatever else, and I showed up to the school and they had a shooter drill. Like
They had
as I
one right
came in.
after Texas. I heard it. Like my daughter's school's right up the street, so I was hearing the alarm that sounds whenever they have like an active shooter drill because they all have to like lock down and stuff. So that was super triggering for me. I actually had a nightmare after that because I just could not imagine. Like my daughter's 4th grade teacher could not like look at her kids because they were all around the same age. And is also retiring from teaching 4th grade after this just because of like it's horrible. And it sucks when like as a child you're scared and you just want to know like why, and nobody around you can give you that answer, you know? Like I guess the equivalent would be like in the 70s when they had more serial killers.
I mean,
And
we can give an
so-
answer. We know exactly what it is. It's one specific party that is failing to do its due diligence to.
No, it absolutely is.
And to some degree,
And they told us for years. Oh, sorry, Josh.
no, it's okay. I do want to say it, to some degree, it is both parties. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
It
yeah,
is. It
but
absolutely
like,
is. For years, they said just vote. Just vote. It'll fix it. Just vote. And I've been voting since I could vote, and that has not fixed anything. Voting blue, no matter who, doesn't fix it. Nothing fixes it.
Yeah.
Like,
Because at
we
the end of
had-
the day, it's whoever's putting money in those politicians' pockets that's actually going to control anything. Democrats or Republicans don't actually control anything. That's why you see the president tweeting, "Man, I wish we could do this." It's like,
Yeah, that
my
was
brother in
triggering.
Christ, you are the president.
I think it was Ethan Klein had like a really like straight, I've heard it before, but like recently really like, good straight take, which is like, if anyone pays you donates $3 million to you, you work for them. It doesn't matter if it's a donation. If anyone for any reason gives you $3 million, gives you $1 million even,
Yep.
you work for them. This isn't, no one
Yes.
just gives someone $3 million for no
Yes.
reason.
Why do you think?
That doesn't
Why do you
exist.
think Gavin Newsom? Why do you think Gavin Newsom, the
No one's
governor
giving
of
me-
California,
no one's even giving me
meddled in the
$10 for
Department
no
of
reason.
Fair and Public and Housing thing? Because Bobby Kotick, well, specifically Brian Bulatto, donated money to the campaign of like recall Gavin Newsom because they were trying to recall him because Republicans were trying to like coup every state everywhere. And they gave him money. So then therefore, when the Department of Fair Employment and Housing sued Activision Blizzard, he actually meddled in that case and caused the main lawyer to quit pushed her out,
I think it was
fired
the
her.
DA, right?
And then the second one quit in retaliation.
It was the DA's
What?
lawyers specifically, not like an outside party
Yes.
lawyer. Yeah, just to clarify.
Yes. Yeah.
Also, I checked his chat,
So,
was asking about
it
it.
is, it's
95%
true.
of schools in
You work
America
for them.
currently run shooter drills. I don't know.
Yes.
I'm surprised that isn't even just required. I feel like that should be, if you're a public school, I feel like you should be required to run them. I hate to say that, but
And
that's
it's always public
unfortunately what it should be.
I mean, what's the point?
Yeah.
Though? It's not like there's like an actual like effect. I mean,
I
At the end of the day-
think it's. I rather something be happening. I'm not saying they're the solution, but I'm saying in lieu of a solution, I think I want
it makes
kids to have
sense
every
that it's
tool
happening.
possible.
yeah, I mean, absolutely. But like at the end of the day, like it's not. It's counterproductive. It doesn't like it's not helpful.
Yeah.
Like the thing that we really
You're
should
literally
do, like,
training the person who is going to.
Yes.
Like the shooter is in
You're
the room
training them.
already. You are training.
Yeah.
Them. So it doesn't make
You are
any
training
sense.
child who,
I mean, like-
is already failed by the system, is already feeling a specific way, is already feeling alienated, is maybe having mental health problems, maybe doesn't fit in anywhere. You're already training them
That's the
on,
thing. Like,
you know.
The
like
the
there's
Republicans
there's
are
a lot of
halfway there,
problems.
right? Where they're like when they
They
deflect,
almost get it.
it's like, oh, it's the mental health crisis. Like we're halfway there. Okay, yes,
We're
you've
halfway
admitted
there.
that we have
Yeah.
a mental health crisis,
Yeah.
and now the next step is, and it's like, oh
Funding
no,
healthcare
no.
or mental health.
And then they think about the NRA spending a bunch of money on their campaigns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, we can't fund that.
That's why Ted Cruz immediately, when questioned, was like, "Oh, it's easy to get political." But the Democrats, it's like, my brother in Christ, you're a politician.
Yeah.
It's your job to get political.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Like,
What do
especially
you mean?
as a politician specifically, because like, you know, in the perfect world, even where one party isn't a fucking deranged psychopath of people, like full of people, that its only real platform is to prevent progress, like inherently by their platform. Even in a world where like the two parties just have like slightly different views, your job is still to basically go to ideological war for your constituents. So like saying that you don't want to get political is inherently just like a self-report. Like again,
dumb. You can tell he just doesn't want to talk about it because he gets paid by the gun lobbyists.
Yeah. I mean,
paid.
there's also nothing he can say that can help him. Like, he's better off just saying nothing because there's no good answer. There's literally there's no good answer to this. It doesn't lose him his constituents. Like, there isn't. Or makes him seem like an absolute, like, unfit for office psychopath. More than he already is.
He is absolutely unfit for office psychopath.
We
But
had the
legally
supermajority. Like when Obama was in office, like we had the supermajority. We could have ended the filibuster. We could have.
And he said that was the only time he was upset in his government, was that they literally could not pass gun reform in any way whatsoever.
Well, to be fair, before like when he had that majority, he like was avoiding the gun issue as much as possible.
He was avoiding that, and he was avoiding Roe v. Wade. He was avoiding both of those hot topic
this
issues.
is a perfect metaphor for. This is the perfect metaphor for why, like, YouTubers that refuse to go one way or another on something, it's why these communities of toxicity and bigotry fester, because you're not correcting that behavior. You're not, like, going one way or another because you don't want to upset both parties, right? Upset a party. If it's the party of I eat babies, upset that party. You know? Like, hello. Have a freaking backbone. Sorry.
That's
no,
fine. I feel like we're all
Jess said
kind of
like the most like
ranting.
least divisive thing possible, like compared to everyone else on the internet right now. She's like, I'm so sorry, guys.
You would be surprised. You would be surprised. Okay, literally one time on Twitter, I was like, normalize curb stopping Nazis. And some guy was like, wow, Jess, very radical.
Yeah, there's people who are like trying to platform Nazis right now. Like these are the people I've been arguing with. I got like I was on a panel show and I had 5 people all like going at me for saying that it's a bad idea. And like, look, I understand if you want to like talk to someone and work them out of like their crazy views. That's fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to give them airtime to do it. It's crazy.
Right. Yeah. You don't have to tolerate intolerance. You can absolutely be civilly disobedient or even violent if somebody is like actively harming someone and you want to stop that from happening, right? Because like we as a society have always done that, right? Yeah. We're like, this thing's weird. Like, it's crazy how like backwards we are now. It's like we freaking ended slavery. Like we ended something we never thought we could end, and we had like a whole civil rights movement. And we gave people rights, and where we are right now is at this like stalemate of, well, we can't do anything about it. I voted. Sorry. It's like, take the freaking power back. Yeah. Like we have the power. We are the means of like their money, their production, right? So why aren't we seeing any return? Our kids can't even learn in a school. Like, hello.
I'm really hoping that, you know, our generation is able to, like, once we take those Senate spots, we are able to.
I am not looking forward to the next 10 years. The next 10 years are going to be really rough in this country.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not great.
Ugh.
I'm trying to find it.
On that positive note.
Yeah, on that positive note. I mean, this is why I saved this topic for last, because I know.
Yeah.
Wait, that's not our last topic.
I mean,
don't you want to talk about Sony bringing the Horizon and God of War?
No, I don't. I don't want to talk about this right now. We'll do it next week.
Oh, Josh. Well, we should like not leave on a sad note.
Wait. Can I tell one of my good jokes?
Yes.
Republicans are so annoyed with participation trophies, but it sounds like we got a bunch of dudes wearing gold stars out front of a school doing nothing. So maybe that's the participation trophy we should be worried about.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
No, we don't have to end on a sad note. What are y'all looking forward to this week?
Looking forward.
Everyone should go watch the new season.
My
of Love on the Spectrum.
birthday is Tuesday. I freaking forgot my birthday is
Queen!
Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's Gemini season. I'm at my full power.
Rise
You
up.
a Gemini? No way.
I am.
Oh,
I'm a
my
Gemini.
God. Fucking Gemini.
You couldn't tell.
Yeah, Gemini broke.
Wait,
my
you're
heart.
a Gemini?
No, a Gemini broke my heart.
This is all
Oh,
California
I'm sorry.
stuff. Like I am so like, how do you like look at someone and know that they're a Gemini? My brain is like exploding right now. What?
Sometimes you can.
Is this,
Well, no.
is this what it's like to live on the West Coast?
If it looks like
Yeah.
they're gonna break your heart, there. No, I'm kidding.
I'm sorry.
Just real quick. As someone that grew
I've
up in
broken
a
many hearts. I've broken up with every person I've ever been with.
wow.
I've not been the other way around. Yeah.
You got this belt like loaded with notches, huh? Just
Oh god.
chilling.
Aw. No, I mean, I don't know. I don't
You
know
have
what's
any-
wrong with me.
Do
We'll
you
figure it
have
out,
any-
Josh.
There's nothing wrong with you. Honestly, the thing is, it's men. It's all men.
Most men are fucking
Agreed.
trash.
We're
you know.
Including me. I'm a trash man.
Oh, we know, Josh. We know.
We're all bad at relationships, honestly. Like
Hey, I'm
communication's
killing
one
it
of
right
those
now. I don't know
things.
about you. I'm
Yeah,
killing
like,
it.
Killing
hard-
it, yeah.
I know,
He
like-
posted GF on Maine.
Hey, what's
I
up?
literally thought-
I even
And he
cropped her
even
face out because
Said
I
it
knew
to
she wouldn't
close
like the
friends.
face.
It was like her. Yeah.
Do you have any
so one
fun-
thing.
Oh, sorry. What's up,
No,
Holly?
this is the same thing.
So yeah, my birthday. My birthday's
yeah.
Tuesday. I'm a Gemini. I'm gonna be 30.
Jess, you
Oh,
should come
nice.
into LA so we can all celebrate with you. That's
The
what you should
three-
do.
I am in
Oh.
LA.
No, but you should
I
come
am in LA.
like you should come like closer to us. Is what I'm
Where are
saying.
you?
Just for
In
your
New York?
birthday, come closer to us for your birthday.
Well,
like how you had to,
I've
like,
talked about
correct
us all
the
hanging out
language
before, and
there.
Josh
Well
is
done.
always like, Jess is way too far to hang out.
Wait,
That was-
wait.
that was
So where do you
before
even
she
live?
did it.
Aren't you in New York?
We're in
Me?
North Hollywood.
North Hollywood? That's not even that far.
Oh, Josh made it sound like you were farther. Blame Josh again. Bad man.
I'm in like
Bad man.
I'm in SoCal, but like the South Bay, so San Pedro, Long Beach.
Okay, so Guildhall
Area.
night. Guildhall night.
Probably like an hour, maybe 2 hours if there's a shit ton of traffic. But like we could probably find a midpoint somewhere
Yeah, we could definitely
and
find
hang
a midpoint.
out.
I'd be down for that.
Well, if you're the birthday person, wouldn't it make sense for everyone to just go to your place and be like, "Yo"? I mean, not your place, but like
I'm also a woman, so I have to fight twice as hard for like everything, and as a baseline,
Including traffic.
including traffic.
Wait, so do you have any fun plans for the big 3-0?
I actually don't. I'm gonna be working that Tuesday. Let me look. Actually, let me look at my calendar. Tuesday. Wait, no, my birthday's not Tuesday. Oh yeah, it is Tuesday. I was looking at Thursday.
Mm.
I lied. I got nothing. Yeah. So if y'all ever want to hang, Ali, I know you're in Virginia, so
yeah, that's gonna be hard, but don't worry about it. We'll figure it out.
we can
I'll,
Zoom you in or something.
Oh my god, we can do Zoom shots.
Jess. Okay, Jess.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Lovebot,
Zoom
Lovebot,
shots.
but for Allie.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
Give your
Lovebot?
Lovebot.
I'm a
On
love-
H3, they have a Lovebot. They have a
They have a dude in Sweden.
Love who's in Sweden, so they have him on like a little like
iPad robot. Like they like.
It's like an iPad Segway that like runs around.
I love that. It's
We
like
could do
the
that for
software
you.
thing. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done. I'm ready
We
for
could totally
that.
do that. We should do
I
that.
love it. That's gonna be kind of cool. All right. Yeah, I'm down.
So yeah,
we're
30th
done.
birthday, and I already got my Raven Union, so I really don't know what else I need at this point. Because for Christmas last year in December, I was like, I just want a union. That's all I want.
It's like
Yeah,
the
you
it's like the
got it.
Lilo and
Perfect.
Stitch scene where she's like praying, like, "Please give me a union."
Please give me better working conditions.
And then
from
Bobby
fellow
Kotick is Stitch coming out of the fire, like.
Yeah.
We just spent like 20 or 30 minutes ranting about something. I think we know what we need next. But
Yes, I would absolutely love that, but yeah, I
Yeah,
would love that.
sure.
So I'll use my birthday wish on that this
I
year.
also just want to say one thing. Everyone getting in the way of gun control is going to hell. I don't care how Catholic you are. You're going to hell.
I agree.
How
Blood's on
Catholic.
your fingers.
We're already in hell,
for
I would argue, but
A very brief period on my Facebook where all of my relatives, specifically the conservative ones, meander about.
Yeah.
I deleted it after 5 minutes because I was like, this is gonna stir
Yeah.
the pot too much.
The
But I
shit's
did,
Somebody-
wild.
I posted
Facebook.
that
Don't
like
go out.
everybody who votes GOP like has blood on their hands because
Yeah.
it's like not true.
It's true.
Literally, it's like there's no amount. Even if you think like government wise that their way is the right way, there is no set of progress worth the lives of children, or just
I
general
absolutely agree.
mass lives. There just isn't. It just isn't worth it. Also,
So-
small town woes of going on Facebook and being like,
Yeah.
you can't fuck with the Second Amendment, but those same people want to fuck with the First Amendment and be like, we need more
Yep.
church in our state. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what?
I will also agree with Josh that it's a nightmare on Facebook because I posted like fuck the cops that didn't do anything, and someone literally in my comments was like, you can thank BLM for that because cops are scared to
They
do
got
anything
more
now because of
money!
BLM.
Yeah, right. Like
Like,
they
this
have
is their
no idea
chance.
what they're
This
doing.
was their
And then he
chance to be
even
like,
tried
we
to
got
say,
the
like-
money, we saved the day, we did the
Yeah.
thing, and they
Yeah.
didn't do shit in Texas, in the most gun state possible, in
Yeah.
Texas.
No.
And-
So he
yeah.
said that, right? And then he was like, how cringe. And then so I commented back and I was like, so those children died from cringe? And then he immediately walked it back and said all this other stuff. And I was like, yeah, that's a stupid thing to say, especially like blaming a nonprofit organization that is trying to like it doesn't make sense, and it tells you how bad Facebook is in that it's an unchecked cesspool of right-wing propaganda, and we've as a society have moved past a need for Facebook.
Also true.
And
Valid.
I'm like,
Valid, very valid.
sorry,
But not really though.
if you can
Not at all.
radicalize your
We-
uncle, then it shouldn't exist.
We got
True.
pulled back. We got pulled back.
I'm
into
I didn't mean to.
sorry.
That was my fault. It was my fault. It was my
Listen,
fault.
it's been a hard week
it's
for
a
everyone.
birthday.
Like,
Happy
we
birthday, it's
deserve
Jess's
the
unbridled
Happy
rage.
birthday. It's just a birthday. So Jess, you've got your birthday. We should absolutely do shots.
What are you doing? Yeah, we should.
I have a birthday on Saturday. I'm going to that I'm looking forward to. While I was at
Aw.
Coachella, I met these two random people who were eating next to us, and
Nice. Those are the
they
best.
found out that I work in the video game industry, and they're like, "Do you play Elden Ring?" And I'm like,
Nice.
I love Elden. I have 90 hours in Elden Ring." And then we just got talking about that, and
Aw,
they
I
connected
love
with
when
me
that
on
happens.
IG and invited me to
Hell
their
yeah.
birthday this Saturday. so-
hell yeah.
Super
Gemini
cool.
birthdays are the best.
What is a Gemini birthday?
It's fucking unhinged.
okay. All right.
If you can survive this show, you can survive a Gemini birthday.
That's true. That is true. Geminis get a bad rap. That's all I'm gonna say.
They do, but
I
yeah,
blame
they're
Trump.
y'all aren't bad. Wait, is Trump a Gemini?
Yeah.
No fucking what? Justified. It's all justified.
What do you
All justified.
mean?
I think justified is the wrong word. I think justified is the wrong word there.
Yeah. No, Geminis are I have a lot of love.
For the
Yeah,
best.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm doing
what-
I've got a 12-hour stream tonight where I'm going to be.
Oh.
So I'm going to be getting up at 3 in the morning.
Oh my god.
I'm going to work on this chess opening that I invented and like
Nice.
perfect it. And then 8 hours in, I'm going to teach another chess streamer how to play it. And she's going to. So the goal is to get a Wikipedia article for this thing, right? We need to make this an
Hell yeah.
official chess opening. If I spent my entire life playing this game, I can at least invent something that sticks, right?
Yeah.
Like,
You'd think
that's
that.
the goal. That's what we're going for.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
I like that.
As
That's
my
awesome.
G
12
Sling
hours.
launches.
Listen,
let's go.
as someone that's played like competitive games, there is nothing better than knowing that you have like even just a small notch of history in the game,
No?
which I have. So I'm speaking from experience. Go
There
do
you
it.
There you go.
Stuff,
Yeah,
but
I
bring
invented one of the
Hasan
best
back.
decks. I invented one of the best decks in a Yu-Gi-Oh format.
Wait, did you really?
Yeah, I did. I was the first one top with it.
That's
cool.
awesome.
Wasn't the best
Hasan
deck in
is
the
back
format.
just
but
for
it was top
closing
three.
arguments.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Very important.
Yep.
Very important.
And yeah, we have our Hasan dating simulator game jam to look forward to. That is something I will absolutely organize. At some
I
point.
was actually thinking
Yeah.
it should be a fighter. Actually, it should be Winnie the Pooh versus Hasan
Ooh.
fighting
Oh.
for Jessica's hand. You know what I mean?
Aww.
Not
It was
mine.
We're
kinda
already
creepy.
married.
That's true.
I mean, it's 2022.
fight-
It could be anything. I don't know. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could like do the polycule thing, but I'm gonna need rent money because I ain't having all these people in my house for free.
I like how the rent
Not-
money is like the first like thing to think about on this.
How dare you bring him back? You bring Hasan back immediately. He's so scary. I'm gonna have no. Oh,
I don't want him.
Oh my god.
Maggie's
You know,
going
I'm
so well.
actually I wanted to have my camera on today for a second while I was ranting, and now I'm glad that I didn't ask for it because like I don't want Winnie the Pooh. Like that's fine.
That's
Fine.
gonna be a clip for sure. Is
It's
Mike,
like
so.
what do you got
launching
going
a-
on this week, Mike?
Oh wow, I
Yeah, what
actually
you
got
got,
asked.
Mike?
I was ready to complain. I wasn't getting asked.
Oh no, I was just waiting for
I'm
it to-
just working really hard because my friend's coming into town next week, and we're doing like
Oh, that's right.
we're doing like double Disney Day. We're doing like
Aw.
just Hollywood hike, all that stuff. Just so, yeah,
Mike's a
just
good
working this
friend
week.
and boyfriend confirmed.
Thank you. We're doing like a hotel in Anaheim, just so we don't have to like drive super
Ooh.
far. Josh, we're going to
Alright.
Frankensons. You want to go to Frankensons with us?
Ooh,
on-
Frankenstein's is nice. We should
on
absolutely
Saturdays.
go.
See, Jess knows what Frankensons is. You want to go? We're going next Saturday.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
I'll
Got
buy
that
some
birthday.
N64 games.
Yeah.
Elden Ring birthday
Wait,
boy.
Jess, did you see my graded Pokemon game?
I did. The one you put in the chat?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
Right. Hold on,
I
it's
did
right. It's right there. Right there.
His most
Yes.
prized possession.
I'm very excited for you. To do this. I don't understand it as much as I thought I should. Like honestly, but like
Understand what?
I don't know
The
how to put
Frankenstein's
it.
thing.
No,
I mean, it's
Should I
like
put it?
if you could own
It's a
the
collectible,
original, if you could
right,
own
and
the
it's-
original king, you know.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like if
So,
you could
I-
own like your first like if you like if chess had iterations and you're like here's a sealed copy of like 5th edition chess that I started with, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I do collect chess sets, sort of.
Like okay, so imagine if your first chess set was like a themed one. Let's say it was like Harry Potter chess or whatever, right? I don't know why I came to mind because it's just in the movie. And you got like
Yeah.
a sealed copy of that same set, or just that same set, you know? Like
yeah,
like
no,
that
it's
kind of-
memorabilia. I get it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. I actually had a friend who, actually, I was gonna, but you don't play it though. It's just like in a box, right? Like,
Yeah,
that's
no,
the-
Yeah.
it's never been opened. Nope.
See, I've got a friend who collects the video game systems, right?
Yeah.
But what's like really cool is that when he does, like, so he's got like 30 different systems, like from like 1970 on, that he like refurbishes and cleans up. et
Oh,
cetera,
that's
et cetera.
awesome.
Neat.
But then he plays it.
Well,
which
yeah,
is, like,
I collect like stuff play too. Like I have,
It's
I have
oh,
like
man.
I have like like Halo 2's limited edition that's still playable and it's open and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was just like a very
Yeah.
like specific.
That's right. So like things like that is like really like there's like this video game system from like the Neo Geo. I don't know if you guys know what that is.
Oh, I know what the Neo Geo is. Yeah,
I have not
Yeah.
heard
it's
of
not the
that one.
Saturn. It's not the It's like a Saturn, but whatever.
Yeah, it's like it was
Ah.
like around that era, and like we actually played games on this thing. Like he had cleaned up the controllers, he like resoldered the microchips and stuff.
Oh, dang.
And we used to get like hammered, go back to his place, and just play these like old school video games. And it was like
Heck
just
yeah.
the coolest thing.
Yeah, the
Actually, see if we can get them on actually. maybe.
the fraternity I would hang out with in college, literally like they just because they have enough members, they just pulled all their members to each bring like every console, and I think like at one point they had like
Nice.
every console except for some of the weird like Sega and like Genesis ones, but they had like all the Nintendo
like
consoles,
Genesis.
all the
Dreamcast is fun,
PlayStations,
too.
all the Xboxes, you know.
yeah.
And it was just all hooked up to one TV with a splitter.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
exactly. That's the key. It's like one TV and the splitter.
Yeah.
Absolutely true.
Now it's
Yeah.
2 TVs, one for HD and one for old school tube.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Nice.
Anyways, Josh, what fun things
Did
are
we
you
get
doing?
to Josh? Yeah, Josh.
I
We don't let
so
Josh talk on this show. He's just here to look pretty.
That's my job. Yeah. I'm probably gonna take a nap after the show. I had a long.
Josh is beat.
I did the like host a friend thing this weekend, and so for the last
Aw.
few days.
Oh yeah, how'd that go? You were
going
telling me
out.
about it on
It
Wednesday.
was good. We just drank a lot, so I'm
Fun.
pretty tired. I spent most of yesterday morning throwing up,
Aw.
and
Sag.
yeah,
Sounds like you're
tired.
weak.
just tired.
Eat a
Yeah.
burrito and take a hot shower.
Yes. Oh, I'm absolutely gonna take a shower. I should have taken a shower before this show.
Yo,
but,
did you know? Wait, Jess, sorry. Did you know that Donald Trump Jr. is literally tweeting about Ethan Klein?
Is he really?
Yeah,
Of course.
Why
I apparently
is this
his. I know
happening
I didn't get to
now?
watch it, but like the Friday podcast got like mass reported by
It's
Republicans.
because they clipped him. Okay, so they clipped Ethan saying
Oh,
that
they
they
wanted
should
to bomb the NRA, right?
conference.
Yeah,
Yes.
and immediately walking it back like
and
5
then he
seconds later.
immediately walked it back because that's
Because he's
the kind of
ranting. Because he's just
comedian
going on
he
an
is.
emotional rant. Like,
Yeah.
that's what it is. Yeah, but that's
Because-
fucking wild. We live in a timeline where Donald Trump Jr. is like putting Instagram stories about Ethan. That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna say just
Why
to
is-
say it though, real quick. Like, you probably shouldn't say it. Like, even if you're
I
ranting,
agree.
No, yeah,
I
don't
yeah.
agree.
say that.
But he
Like,
no,
it's
he
100%.
acknowledged it's a mistake. He acknowledged that he made a
Yeah.
mistake immediately. Like
Yeah,
obviously,
but-
when you get emotional, you don't always say things you mean. We
Correct.
all do this. Republicans say things that are way worse than they mean. So like,
Oh, absolutely. I'm just saying, like, so like I'm fine selling Ethan down the river if we can get everyone
Yes.
else who's done this shit
for sure, but
and
they're
so,
not.
like,
But they're
right,
not.
right. Like I'm very happy to like metaphorically sacrifice Ethan to hold all
my
Republicans
God.
accountable.
Great
for
reply
the
tweet
types of
though.
shit they say.
Great reply
Yeah.
tweet.
Anyway, sorry.
Honestly, though, I like that clap back. Ethan
Yeah,
is
good
very
clap
good
back.
at that.
Oh, that's
Remember
an
when
amazing
you're done?
clapback. Holy
Yes.
shit. That's
So let's just say that, yeah. Also, I can kind of relate to the frustration that people feel when it's like we have tried literally everything, like just bomb the NRA, right? Like,
Yeah.
obviously, don't do that.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
it almost feels like that's what it would take for actual reform.
Yeah, and
So
also
I
like it's not like
get
he's like
that
kill the
as,
head of
like,
the NRA. He's like demolish the institution of the NRA.
Yeah,
Like-
and also, like in that same breath, I would also argue that Ethan is someone who deals with a lot of like doxing, a lot of people calling the police to his house, a lot of
Oh
like,
yeah, he had a
things
great
that are
tweet that was
horrible.
like I think something aired on Fox News last night, and it was like ever since that's happened, the Conservative Party has really given me a lot of anti-Nazi death threats. Very
Yeah.
self-reporting, like or something. I'll find
Yeah.
it. You made a great point though. And
I hope all of
I
those
try to
are
hit on
being
this
turned into
too.
the FBI. Not that they would actually do anything, but we'll see.
No, of course. You make a great point. It's like, oh, I would still eat them down the river. We can get everyone else, and I would too. And that's the problem. It's like people are like, I wish we didn't have a two-party system. It's like, well, we don't. We have a backwards ass fucking anti-progress party, and then we have another party that actually acts like a multi-party system, which is the only reason Democrats lose. Is because we actually hold each other accountable. We have varying viewpoints within the Democratic Party, and those don't always mesh. And that's what the actual system would look like. Like,
what do you,
Well, so
what
that's
do you,
left. Okay, so that's
what do you guys have against trying to end the show on a light note?
Josh,
No,
it's
no,
been a hard
no,
week, okay?
Josh.
You also,
Why do you
Josh,
keep
our
dragging
PR
us
guy
back
literally
into the
has.
dark? Why do you keep dragging us back into the
Josh,
darkness?
you can leave.
How
You
did
can
we
sign
get
off
here?
and we'll keep going
How
if
did
you
we get
want.
here? How do we get here?
Josh, you can just leave if you want, and we'll,
We gotta rant. We have to rant more. More ranting.
We had a
do
hard
anything.
week. We had a great week in that, like, I literally freaking won a union on Monday, and then when I was coming home Tuesday, shit sucked. So I'm going through every stage of grief right now. All right, let me get through it.
Found the tweet.
Valid.
But
Get it all
yeah,
out
that's
there
wild.
before-
I blame
you're
Mike because Mike brought that into our attention right now.
Listen,
It's
you
true.
you
If he
asked
knows
for Mike
anything
on
involving
cam, and you
Ethan
got Mike on
Klein,
cam, okay?
I will react to
Mike,
it.
we asked you what you were gonna do this week, and somehow we ended up.
Murder Jessica. I'm just like,
It just
But
came
that's
up.
what
Listen,
everyone does.
blame Twitter because Twitter just automatically refreshed and it was on my timeline. Like that's
I will
what
always
happened.
blame Twitter.
Okay. My request for everyone. Okay, we're gonna end this on a positive note.
Hey, wait,
Take a
Prince
day
of
off
Egypt is
Twitter.
trending. Let's see what's up
No,
with Prince
no.
of Egypt.
Take a day off of Twitter. Like today is Sunday, tomorrow's Monday, Memorial Day. I know it's hard.
Oh, I
Like-
forgot. I have plans. I'm going to the Miyazaki exhibit at the film
Nice.
museum tomorrow.
Hey,
Oh,
That's
that's
sick.
cool.
That's awesome. It's a sick exhibit.
Oh, I'm
In
so
the show,
excited.
in the show, in the show, in the show, in the
I
show.
didn't think Josh was gonna say that. I thought Josh was gonna say, and that's the episode.
We need to read.
That's sick.
Fuck. I didn't do this. I didn't plan this. I didn't
Yeah,
plan
he
this. I
never
was
does
just
his
ranting.
job.
I was ranting this whole
Raid
time.
Hasan, raid
right?
Hasan,
I'm
raid
sorry.
Hasan.
Yeah, let's just raid
Can we
Hasan.
raid Hasan?
Yeah, we can raid
Raid
Hasan.
Hasan.
Yes.
Hasan, do we want?
Okay,
do you want
that's-
us to
We're
raid
raiding
you?
Hasan. There we go.
Okay,
Oh
I
my
guess
God.
that's what we're
Raid
doing.
One,
Hasan.
5 viewers. 6
All right,
gone.
one Hasan is
8
lost,
viewers.
and we're about to see another.
All right,
Let's
everyone say nice
Speaking
things
for more
about
Hasan.
Hasan.
I
give me
love
a
his
what's wrong?
hair
I love
and
you,
his
Hasan.
immaculate taste in spending money on shirts.
I would.
Hasan,
date you.
I've-
Slice the watermelon open with his thighs.
Hassan, I'm Persian. Fuck you.
What are the Persians? have
Persian,
against Turks?
Persian